WPIAL football. Alongside Steve Nagler, I'm Sam Halls. We get set for the Upper St. Clair Panthers and the North Hills Indians. And right behind you, Steve Nagler, is the new athletic director at North Hills School District, Amy Schuneman, doing a fantastic job at Bethel Park for, 10 years? And she makes the move up into the North Hills because she likes Ross Park Mall better than South Hills Village. But in any case, it's WPIAL football as we get set for the North Hills Indians and the Upper St. Clair Panthers. North Hills takes advantage of the extra week last week, Steve. They play that game 0, if you will, 0-week game, and a convincing win for the Indians and a fine attack offensively. Will Hurt at quarterback and Santucci running the football. Pat Carey likes what he saw in week 0.
That was a good start for a team that had trouble scoring last year. They only had 6 games where they didn't get past 10 points offensively. One of the 5 teams in Allegheny Nine that opted to play in week 0. 4 did not. Of those 4, Upper St. Clair was 1. But yes, a very good start for North Hills. You mentioned Will Hurt, 14 of 23 through the air, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not bad for a brand new start under center. And he's got a great back in Nick Santucci. Had a great year last year, over 1,000 total yards rushing and receiving. This year he starts out 15 carries, 139 yards, and a touchdown. Bryce Walker, 8 catches for 132 yards and a touchdown. 4 different players scored touchdowns in that first week win.
A win for them. Upper St. Clair instead plays a regular scrimmage. They did not play a game that counted in their schedule, but Jim Render knows kind of what he has coming back. And what he has coming back, first of all, is a tremendous offensive line led by Gabe Hoy.
Yeah, Gabe Hoy, a Pitt recruit. He has given his verbal commitment to go to the University of Pittsburgh. He's their left tackle. You're going to see Upper St. Clair running left a lot this year, and they've got a terrific running back to do it. Thomas Visman is the main guy. Outstanding year in 2015, 1,364 rushing yards, scoring 16 touchdowns. He's hoping for an even bigger year this year. He committed to the Ivy League and Yale University. But this young man, a lot of size, a lot of speed. He can run over you, he can run past you. And he's going to be the focal point of this Upper St. Clair Panther offense.
It is an offense that really you could have seen the entire backfield come back intact. We saw a lot of Don Felino, the fullback. He is bigger this year somehow than he was last year. Big, strong, fast kid. Does a great job as a lead blocker for Tom Visman. We had Jackson Geisler as the starting quarterback last year as a junior. Geisler's still on the team, but he gets beat out in training camp by another junior, this one Jack Hansberry.
Yeah, Hansberry's going to get the start. A little bit of a surprise. Jackson Geisler threw for over 700 yards last year as the Upper St. Clair Panther quarterback in his junior year. He's now a senior, but he will not get the start here in week 1. It is going to be Hansberry, but I have a feeling that before the night is done, we will see some of Jackson Geisler as well.
We'll see a lot of Geisler, I think, as a wide receiver as well, but it's an offense, I think, that when you talk about a big, experienced offensive line, one of, I think, right now going into this 2016 season, if injury holds off for Visman, he could be one of the best rushers in the WPIAL.
I couldn't agree more, and they need it. They are coming off a couple of down years by this program's lofty standards. 5-5 last year, 4-3 in Southeast Conference play. They made the playoffs, but it was not pretty in week 1 against Central Catholic, a 49-0 drubbing. So Jim Render hoping to get his team back in the topic of being one of the top teams in Class now 5A.
Yeah, you talking about the Upper St. Clair, a first-round loss last year, 49-0 to Central. There was also a drop in the first round for North Hills at the hands of Penn Trafford last year, 56-7, I believe, the final of that football game. Both of these clubs want to improve the numbers from last year. Defensively, maybe most importantly, and North Hills gave up nearly 30 points a game on defense last year. Upper St. Clair, not much better. They allowed almost 26 points per game last year. That's a number that's not going to work this year.
No, it won't. If these teams have any hopes of being successful in this Allegheny Nine Conference, they're going to have to shore things up defensively. This is a very competitive conference. It's kind of top-heavy, but you look at the top teams, North Hills, Woodland Hills, Upper St. Clair, West Allegheny. I think Moon will be pretty good. And then it's kind of the best of everybody else. They're going to have to play better defensively in order to get one of the playoff spots. Neither teams did play very well on that side of football.
These two really kind of storied traditional powerhouses in what was before the largest classification in the WPIAL. No longer the case, Steve, as you mentioned. Now they're in 5A instead of 6A as we make the move to 6 classifications. Jim Render, a WPIAL record, 384 wins. It seems like just a couple of years ago we did a couple of different specials on win number 300 for him. So he has consistently had this program, as you mentioned, among the upper echelon in all of the state of Pennsylvania. He ranks 3 in the state of Pennsylvania in terms of victories for a high school football coach. So a lot of respect for the man on the far side of the football field here tonight. It's a brand new surface. Matt Mellinger and company putting the brand new surface on this summer. Actually, several brand new surfaces around the WPIAL. Canamac has a brand new one. North Allegheny as well. This one is fantastic. I had a chance to walk out across it a little bit earlier this evening as we got set for this football game, and it is absolutely beautiful. A beautiful night for football. A tremendous crowd on hand. Should be a good football game as we get set for Upper St. Clair hosting the North Hills Indians. Not only here where we normally are, Steve and I sitting beside each other talking about football, but up on the roof, Jeff Slevo tonight with the video. So if you're listening to us, you can make a couple of clicks and watch and listen to this football game on the MSA Sports Network at www.msasports.net. Also, for updated scores, a lot of games already underway on the network. You can check out all the scores on the MSA Sports scoreboard at m.scores.msasports.net as we get set for the opening kickoff here, Upper St. Clair against the North Hills Indians. Upper St. Clair, don't forget, coming up at the half, the MSA Sports halftime show. Don Rebel and Mike White of the Post-Gazette look at the teams to watch up and down the WPIAL in this 2016 season. The Upper St. Clair Panthers have taken the football field and get set to kick it away to the North Hills Indians, who remain on the sidelines, gathered around head coach Pat Carey. On the tee for Upper St. Clair, Jeff Howard has it teed up on the near hash. Here comes the North Hills Indians kickoff return team.
Could not be better weather for this Week 1 contest in the South Hills. It is mostly sunny, 72 degrees, far different than last week. Almost no humidity in the air, just 48% humidity.
Back deep, Brennan and Santucci for North Hills. Santucci to the near sideline, waits at about the 4-yard line, and that's really going to be what North Hills wants to do, get the ball in the hands of Santucci as much as possible. I think sometimes we might even see him in the Wildcat, Steve.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to get the ball in a lot of different spots, try to keep this Upper St. Clair defense guessing in terms of where he might get the football, and he's going to get it a lot in the air as well. He's a good pass catcher out of the backfield. North
Hills in their all-white, red trim, red numerals, red shoes. Upper St. Clair in their home, all black. Tops and bottoms with red and white trim, white numerals, black helmets. Howard will step it off and wait for the whistle. We'll get Week 1 underway. WPIAL football on the MSA Sports Network. The left footer on the run-up, and we are underway. This kick is screaming down the middle of the football field, taken by Brennan at the 8-yard line, up over the 20. Near sideline, good speed, turns it up at the near hash, and out near the 30-yard line, dropped at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the North Hills Indians offense.
And let's look at that offense. In the backfield, it'll be Will Hurt, the quarterback, along with Nick Santucci, the running back. Ben Walter is the fullback. On the outside, the wide receiver, Bryce Walker. Flanker is Tyler Brennan, and John Hodnick is the tight end. I'll run down the offensive line after this first play.
Bryce Walker from wide to the far boundary. Marked the football right at the 30. 1st and 10 on the near hash. Hurt in the gun. He's got a sidecar. And now he will motion receiver Brennan to that far side as well, to that way, and give it to Santucci, comes back the other way, and he is going to be bottled up in the line of scrimmage immediately. Great penetration there by Eli Grape, 5'11", 205-pound senior.
Yeah, the North Hills offensive line anchored by the left tackle Jason Heinauer. Left guard is Steven Cosentino. Mike Knockel is the center. Ben Spriggs, the right guard, and Lorian Mertezi is the right tackle.
Hurt back into the huddle on 2nd and 10. Gain of about half a foot there for Santucci on that opening carry. Again, you've got Walker wide to the far boundary. Hurt in the gun. And Santucci behind him took the handoff and pick his way over the left side this time. A little better luck as he spins forward out over the 35 to about the 36-yard line before he's tackled there by Tom Visman.
Now, Santucci is an interesting running back. He's a guy that can take it outside. You saw in the first play from scrimmage that they ran off right tackle, that time running between the guards, and very successfully on second down, got 5 yards, 3rd and 4.
Football still a little closer to the near hash as the Indians come out of the huddle. 10.5 remaining here in the opening quarter. And this time it's Bryce Walker to the near boundary and a split backfield on 2nd and 4. And they'll backward pass here to Santucci. Nice job to make the catch, but then has to really plant that right foot hard to stay inbounds. He only gets back to the line of scrimmage. Greeted there by Dom Felino and company. It'll set up a 4th down and 4. Absolutely no gain on that play, and the Indians will set to punt it away, a 3-and-out.
Felino coming up from his outside linebacking position and really recognizing that little quick screen to the right side to Santucci.
McClendon back deep, Bly to punt, and Tommy Kyle back deep for Upper St. Clair as well. They waited about their own 25-yard line. Kick is away, low line drive kick. Kyle will fair catch it right at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Their first offensive possession of the 2016 season, and their offense looks like this.
It'll be the quarterback, Jack Hansberry. His first snaps under a center. He's a junior. He'll have Thomas Visman in the backfield with Dom Felino, the fullback. Split end is Matt Kissinger. Wide receiver Dominic Sapulio, and the tight end is Nick Tucci. Along that offensive line, left tackle Gabe Hoy. Left guard is Jay Pollock. Phil Elias is the center. Dante Greco, the right guard, and Angelo Rad is the right tackle.
Visman, the lone setback. He takes the handoff, goes over left guard. As Steve Nagler predicted, he's out over the 35 into the 37-yard line. Let's give him 6 on 1st and 10, set up a 2nd down and 4, and at that time a pretty decent hole on that left side.
Yeah, we're going to see him running left behind Pollock and Hoy a lot this year. A lot of success doing it last year, and gets good yardage, 6 yards on 1st down.
Here they come out over the football. On 2nd down, 4. 2 receivers to the far boundary. Break the eye now. Turn. And it gave us to Visman. This time a little tougher sledding. He'll get forward for a yard, maybe 2, before he's bottled up. As Hansberry on the handoff. And it's going to set up a 3rd down. And it's a long 2, short 3.
And Visman, so much success as a junior last year, as he ran the ball for nearly 1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns. He was a kind of a lone bright spot in what was not a real dynamic Upper St. Clair Panther offense.
This is Dom Felino territory, but no, they'll toss it to Visman, hit in the backfield, loses the football, and it's going to be recovered by Upper St. Clair all the way back at the 33-yard line. Tremendous penetration that time by the North Hills Indians.
I think that was Zale Apodaca, the 225-pound senior that got into that backfield and made the first contact on Visman. Created I don't think he caused the fumble, but he caused Visman to have to kind of change course.
Tyler Brennan and Ben Walter there as well. The Panthers get set to punt it away. So 3 and outs for both of these clubs. And we have an official timeout on the field. Do you want to talk this over?
Good defensive possessions for both these teams. We talked about in the pregame the fact that these two teams have to tighten up defensively from their performances in 2015.
And a lot of credit, really, to they're going to put some time back on the clock. Oh, no, they're going to take some time off the clock. They're going to take 14 seconds off. It was at 8:13. Now it's at 75-9. That can't be right. But especially after a 6-yard pickup by Visman on 1st down. The Indian defense did a nice job this Steven. The officials being sarcastic with the clock operator. You don't, a little early in the year for the sarcasm, don't you think?
I would think.
There they go, and the smattering of applause. Santucci, the lone safety back to receive this punt. He waits for it at his own 31-yard line. Low snap, kick is out of there off the side of the foot of Sapulio. And it is going to bounce at the 50-yard line and be downed by Colin McClendon. right at the midfield stripe. So big win for North Hills after the exchange of 3 and outs off the short punt. The Indians in business, 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe, working from left to right. Football on the near hash.
Yeah, only about a 17-yard punt that time for Upper St. Clair. So you talk about a win for North Hills. This is a game that requires, good play, both offensively, defensively, and on special teams. They have flipped the field.
Brennan in the slot to the near boundary on 1st and 10. Hurt in the gun. Turn gives to Santucci. Try that left side. He's got some room. Still on his feet. And he is into Upper St. Clair territory, inside the 45 and all the way down near the 41. I think they'll mark him down at the 42 here. No, they'll give him the 41. Let's give him 9 on 1st and 10. Set up a 2nd down and 1. Flinter on the tackle for Upper St. Clair, but that's a big win for the Indians on 1st and 10.
Well, it's going to be really fun watching these two backs, Santucci of North Hills and Visman for Upper St. Clair. Two different types of backs. Santucci, a much smaller, kind of quicker between the tackles back, and he is very successful in what he does.
Here's Santucci again. He'll try the other side, and that has not worked as well. And he is spun down for a loss. Penetration again by Eli Grape. Saw him as a junior be an outstanding player for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. He's made a couple of tackles for loss already here tonight. Loss of 2 there. Sets up a 3rd down and 3 at the 43-yard line of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Football remains on the near hash.
Yeah, Grape just beat the tandem block of Spriggs and Mertese. Was able to get into the backfield and was able to wrangle down Santucci for a loss of a couple.
So a big play here for the Indians. A sidecar for Hurt. Deep back is Santucci. 1 receiver to each boundary. Play action fake. Hurt wants to throw. Rolls to the left side and overthrows his intended receiver, Hodnick, who had gotten open. He was behind a pair of Upper St. Clair Panthers, but it falls incomplete. It will set up a 4th down and 3. Panther injured on the play.
That was a pass that required a little bit more air under it. Will Hurt was rolling to his left. If he would have thrown a little bit more with a little bit more loft, I think Hodnick would have been able to wrangle that pass in. And boy, Hodnick was behind a lot of defense. If he would have been able to catch that pass, he would have been able to get a 1st down and much, much more yardage.
Angelo Rad going to get up and walk off the field, but he's going to be helped as he walks off the field. He's hunched over. He appears to be in quite a bit of pain. So
that looks like a right shoulder situation for Rad. That's a big loss. He is a mainstay on that offensive line, 6'3" tall, 240 pounds, I should say.
Looks like the Indians will go for it here on 4th and 3. Santucci, the lone setback, Hurt in the pistol. He could quick kick it from here, too. They will quick kick it, and this will be Santucci who punts it. End over end. Bounces at the 15. It stops dead. Takes a little bit of a North Hills roll down inside the 12 to about the 11-yard line. That is executed perfectly by the North Hills Indians. With 6 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Did you want to take a break? Oh, okay. We'll keep it here on the MSA Sports Network. Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's
Gave
all right.
you the head fake.
You did give me a head fake.
Didn't mean to do that.
1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair. Football just outside their 10 at the 11-yard line and slightly closer to the far hash for Jack Hansberry and company. Visman, their last time out. Let's see what they do here. 2 receivers to the near boundary, Kitzinger and Sapulio. Hansberry will turn, and this is Visman. Over the right side, out over the 15, tumbles forward to about the 17-yard line. Tackle made by Tyler Brennan.
Boy, I alluded to the quickness of Santucci. Don't get me wrong. Visman has that same quickness, just a little bit of a different back in terms of his size. He goes about 210 yards, but he can get between holes and get into holes very, very quickly.
Give him 7 on that 1st down run. Set up a 2nd down 3. He's the lone setback, 2 receivers far, and he'll get the handoff again. 5 straight carries for Visman. He's out over the 20 and very near a 1st down. And they will say he does have enough for the 1st down, as that's the first one of this football game for either club. 1st and 10 Upper St. Clair marked that football out over the 21 to the 22-yard line. And we knew we'd see a lot of Tom Visman. We may only see Tom Visman, Steve Nagler.
5 plays, 5 handoffs to Tom Visman, but that's the kind of back he is. He's a big, rugged back, and I guarantee you he'd like to have the ball every time that ball is snapped. 3
receivers to the far now, motion one, little end-around jet sweep handoff here, running with the football with Sapulio. Turns the corner as he comes to the near hash, out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Let's give him 4, set up a second down at 6, so a little bit of a breather right there for Visman.
A good block on the left side. Good blocking, I should say, on the left side of that offensive line. Pollock and Hoy opening up a hole for Sapulio to kind of stick that left cleat in the artificial turf, take it upfield for a good gain of 4 on first down.
Khalil Jackson to the far boundary. Visman the lone setback now. 2 receivers far, and Hansberry wants to throw. A lot of time, looking deep. And out over the midfield stripe, intended receiver was Sapulio, who had beaten his defender and into North Hills territory, but the pass slightly overthrown back there defensively, Jared Rosansky.
That was actually a pretty good throw by Hansberry, just kind of leading Sapulio just a little bit too much. I like the play call. I think everybody was thinking run after 6 straight rushing plays by the Upper St. Clair Panthers, but Visman in the backfield, ball did not go to him. A nice pass by Hansberry, just a little bit too far for Sapulio.
3rd and 6, Geisler in and wide out. He is split to the near boundary. I formation behind Hansberry on that's 3rd and 6, and he will set up the draw for Visman, who picks his way forward, bangs his way through a tackle at the 30, out over the 35 for the first down to the 38-yard line. Visman right at that lead stick, met by a pair of North Hills Indian defenders, but he just would not go down, Steve Nagler.
Well, a big statistic for running backs is yards after contact. And Visman's going to be a big yards after contact guy because of his size, his balance, his ability to bounce off tackles. And we saw it there. He was contacted probably around the 32, 33-yard line before he got to the first down, but he was able to drive forward for an extra 4 or 5 yards.
High formation now. Visman will get a breather. We'll get a second tailback running with the football as Blake Kadar. Kadar trying the right side. He'll get right to the 40-yard line and is bottled up there by Bryce Walker and company for North Hills. Let's give him 2, set up a second down and 8. 3:30 on a rolling first quarter clock. We are scoreless at Upper St. Clair's Veterans Stadium. Kadar remains. Nope. Kadar now will check out. Visman is back in. Tom Kyle will check into the game as well as the Panthers come out of the huddle on 2nd and 8 from their own 40. Play clock down to 4. 3, 2. Hansberry gets it off. Quick hitter here for the up back. Running with the football there is Jack Burton. Burton spins forward, and then Rugby comes a little groundhog move. He's out over the 40 to the 42. Let's give him 2 more. And set up a 3rd down and 6. They get out to the 48.
Already 4 different ball carriers for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. We haven't even seen Dom Folio get the football yet. He'll get some carries before the night is out.
Wide to the far boundary goes Khalil Jackson. Visman now the deep back in the eye. The up back here, Burton. Hansberry play action fake. Sets up, rolls to the far side, looking deep. And the catch is made inside the 25 to 23-yard line by Khalil Jackson. A great job to adjust to that ball. He looked over the inside shoulder. The ball came out over the outside shoulder. He spun all the way around and makes a diving catch at the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 there for the Panthers. A big play through the air.
I wasn't sure if Khalil Jackson, the 6'2", 160-pound junior, is going to be able to hold on. Another really good throw is that time Hansberry rolling out to his right. Perfect pass and a nice catch by Jackson.
1st and 10 at the North Hills 23-yard line. Wide to the near boundary. Geisler. Timeout will be called by Pat Carey and company. We'll take a break as well. 1:58 to play in the opening quarter. We're scoreless but the Panthers knocking on the door. You're listening to WPIAL Football 2016, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
Back at Upper St. Clair alongside Steve Nagler. Inside 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Upper St. Clair, their second possession of the football game. And while the bulk of their attack has been on the ground, a big pass play just moments ago as Jack Hansberry hooked up with Khalil Jackson. And they are deep in North Hills territory at the 23-yard line with a first down and 10 in a scoreless game.
I really like the way the ball comes out of Hansberry's hand. Very easy, nice, fluid arm action. It's not forced. Really smooth back there.
Pat Carey wanted to make sure, set that defense now. It has been the Visman show, and Hansberry, we talked about it, Steve, Jr., beats out Jackson Geisler during training camp to become the starting quarterback. He has looked good so far. Geisler is contributing as a wideout now, and he will come wide to this near boundary on 1st and 10. Hansberry in the gun, sidecars Visman, two receivers to the far. They'll motion one to the near in the person of Kyle. Visman will take the handoff though and go straight ahead inside the 15, inside the 10, all the way down to the 6-yard line. He's got another Upper St. Clair Panther first down.
It was kind of a slow start for Visman. He carried the ball the first 3 times on the first drive, did not get a first down, but all of a sudden you blink, he's got 7 carries and 43 yards rushing now with still 1:45 to go on a turning first quarter clock.
First and goal for the Panthers. Mark the football at the 6 on the far hash. Visman the lone setback. Hansberry in the pistol. 2 receivers far. Geisler to the near boundary. Visman picks his way forward, and he will get down near the 5. That football was at the 8-yard line. Let's give him about 1. He gets down near the 7-yard line. Second and goal for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. He had the ball. We saw him fumble earlier, Steve. That time there, as he leaned forward trying to get the extra yard, he was extending the ball. Was looking pretty precarious there for a second.
Yeah, and that's not like Visman. He is usually a good protector of the football, doesn't put it on the ground very much.
Kissinger wide to the far boundary. Now split backs, or just an I formation, I should say, behind Hansberry. Visman will follow the lead block inside the 5, inside the 1, into the end zone. Upper St. Clair touchdown. Nice lead block there from Jack Burton. And Visman gets sprung, and the Panthers take a 6-0 lead.
Well, he is so tough to bring down. Again, carrying North Hills Indians on his back to get to that end zone. And that is really the mark of a great running back, somebody that really smells that goal line and will do whatever it takes to get into that pay dirt. Great run.
Howard on for the extra point out of the hold of Geisler. The kick is up. The kick is good. 46 seconds to play in the opening period. And the Upper St. Clair Panthers on top 7-0 after Tom Visman's 6-yard touchdown run. You're listening to WPIAL Football 2016, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
Back at Upper St. Clair High School alongside Steve Nagler, 7-0, Upper St. Clair on top on a Friday night, week 1 around the WPIAL. All kinds of stuff on the MSA Sports Network. Don Rebel and Mike White coming up at the half. And then we'll talk about teams to watch up and down throughout the WPIAL, all 6 classifications. On the halftime show, Howard has it on the tee for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Visman, a 7-yard touchdown run to put Upper St. Clair on top. See how North Hills responds. Don't forget to tune in Wednesday night for This Week in the WPIAL, 7 o'clock. Join us. We'll visit with some of the top WPIAL football coaches and preview Week 2 of the 2016 WPIAL football season. Howard on the run-up gets the whistle. And he sends it high and deep. Much prettier kick here taken by Santucci at the 8-yard line. Santucci bounces it out to the near sideline, out over the 20, and shoved out of bounds at the 26-yard line. There defensively, Casey Garwig, along with Eli Grape, who is all over the football field for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Yeah, Tom Kyle did a good job on that kick coverage team as well. The junior getting down, making sure that he kept Santucci contained, kind of pushed him towards the sidelines. Good job of covering that kick by the Panthers.
1st and 10 from the 26. And look at the sky. It's almost distracting from the football game. A beautiful night sky out here. Hurt has a sidecar. Santucci, the deep back. He'll have 2 receivers to the far boundary. Turn, play action fake. Hurt to throw. And he's got an open receiver. Catch is made on the run out over the 35 and out near the 40-yard line by Tyler Brennan, 6'1", 170-pound sophomore. And he's got the first North Hills first down of the night.
And I like throwing on first down. Everybody thinking Santucci's going to get the football. He's already carried it 4 times. Hurt going back to pass. Had plenty of time. Good job by the offensive line and able to find a man on the left side.
Mark him out at the 39-yard line of North Hills. Football on the far hash. Brennan in the slot to the near boundary. Wide to the near boundary is Bryce Walker. Santucci, the deep back, and they will give this on the straight ahead, bowling his way forward with the football. Jeff Gillespie, 5'7", 215-pound junior.
Number 33, Jeffrey Gillespie on the carry.
He bangs his way forward for a win on first down. That's the end of quarter number 1 with the score. Upper St. Clair 7, North Hills 0. You're listening to and watching WPIAL Football 2016. Only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Back at Upper St. Clair, Panthers on top 1-0. Indians with the football at their own 30 or 43-yard line, I should say, facing a second down and 6 with a little something going through the air on this drive. Getting their first down of the night. UPMC Sports Medicine partnering with the MSA Sports Network this year for their Stay Strong and Play On program, featuring monthly spotlights on athletes who have overcome injury and continue to pursue and excel at their sport. They'll be granting 2 $1,000 scholarships at the end of the year to athletes who have managed to stay strong and play on. Look for more details soon at msasports.net. Indians out over the football. The officials are going to have them hold on for a minute here as they get set for second down and 6. Football on the near hash. Hurt in the pistol. He's got a sidecar to his right and Santucci behind him. Brennan and Walker to the far boundary. Walker's a big kid, 6'2". 210-pound senior. We haven't seen him get his hands on the football yet in this game. Hurt get a little extra instruction from the near sideline. I think this must be immediate timeout, Steve Nagler. They're waiting for Jess Levo, who's up on the roof. Last time I was here with Jess Levo and she was up on the roof, it was about 24 degrees. She is basking in perfection up there tonight. Now we'll get set to go. Hurt in the gun, 2 receivers to the far. On second down at 6, he wants to throw that way. And speaking of getting football into the hands of Bryce Walker, there he goes. Little wide receiver screen, and Walker's got another first down out over the midfield stripe into Panther territory, all the way to the 47-yard line. I think that Pat Carey may be listening to this broadcast, Steve Nichols.
Oh, nice throw again to Ben Walker, and is good for another first down, 10 yards on that pass and catch.
Mark the football at the 47-yard line of the Panthers. Put it on the far hash. Walker comes to the near boundary. Brennan the slot to the near side. Santucci the deep back again. And a pistol here for Hurt. Santucci takes the handoff, tries it right side, turns on the jets, gets around the corner, inside the 45 and down near the 43, maybe the 42-yard line. Another win on first down for the Indians, who have a little something going on this drive.
They're running off right tackle behind Lorian Murtese. And, boy, you see the speed and quickness of Santucci and a little gallop in that step as he was able to turn the corner and get 6 on first down.
Mark it at the 42. Set up a second down and 5. Again, 2 receivers to the near. And now a pair of sidecars for Hurt. And direct a little traffic here on second down 5. Football at the far hash. Takes the snap. He'll work that same play to the near side. This time for Brennan. Nice move. And he will squirt forward inside the 40. And all the way down to the 37-yard line. He's going to be very, very close to another first down for the North Hills Indians. About a half-yard shot. They're going to give him the 38. Let's call it a full yard to gain on third down.
And you really see this North Hills Indian offense starting to click now. They're starting to, move the ball both from a rushing standpoint and a passing standpoint. They just look much more confident here in this third possession.
Third down 1 from the Upper St. Clair. 38 need to get to the 37. Motion Santucci out of the backfield to the far side. Give it straight ahead to the fullback. First down and more for Gillespie. As he bangs forward, he's inside the 35, and Gillespie gives another first down for North Hills. McClendon on the tackle for the Panthers, but North Hills on the move, trailing 7-0.
When you got a guy like Santucci in the backfield, all eyes on him, good play to give it to Gillespie on third and short. The heavier of the 2 backs, and he gets what's needed.
Santucci, the deep back, 1 receiver to each side. Hurt to throw, looking for the fade. No, instead Walker tried to adjust. It looked like he wanted to go deep, and then Walker tried to sit down at about the 25. Hurt had to change what he was going to do with the football. He ends up just throwing it out of bounds. It'll set up a second down 10.
A pretty mature play by Will Hurt. Bryce Walker was the only wide out on that left side of the football field. He was well covered. There was about 3 Upper St. Clair Panthers in his vicinity, so Hurt just realized it and just airmailed it right out of bounds. Lived for another down. Don't try to force it.
Veteran move by the junior quarterback. Sets up a second and 10. Brennan and Walker to the far side. Santucci the deep back. Football on the near hash. Movement up front. We're going to get an encroachment call against the Panthers. Maybe even a little more veteran move by the junior quarterback there with a hard count. Draws the Panthers off. Second and 10 becomes second and 5 with 9:41 to play. In the opening half, Upper St. Clair clinging to a 7-0 lead. North Hills has a second and 5 from the Panther 28. Santucci the deep. Walker and Brennan to the far. And this will be Santucci. Skates away from one would-be tackler in the backfield. Squirts forward out inside the 25 and down near the 24, maybe even the 23-yard line. It's going to be very close to another first down for North Hills.
Never a bad play to give it to Santucci, that time running left behind Cosentino and Heinauer. And they are going to give him the 5 yards in the first down.
Indeed, it is a 1st and 10. Jason Heinauer. Scott Heinauer, the head coach of the Mars Planets. Jason is his son. His older son, whose name is, for some reason, not coming to me, was the quarterback here at North Hills. Pair of sidecars now on 1st and 10 from the Panther 28 for North Hills. Using a lot of clock here in the second quarter. Hurt in the gun, motion Santucci again, and they'll throw it to him in the flat far side. He's got a lot of room to the 20. Trying to spin, and he's inside the 20. Nice job to fight off a blocker and still make some contact on the far side defensively for Upper St. Clair by Tommy Kyle.
Santucci caught 400 yards plus of passes last year. He is dynamic coming out of the backfield and a really nice option for the head coach. And that time on first down, he was able to get plenty of yards for a win, as you always mentioned. 6 yards on first down.
Set it up, 2nd down, 4. Brennan and Walker to the near. This is Santucci, and he picks his way forward through a hole right side. First down and more inside the 10, still on his feet. Finally shoved out of bounds. And he's going to set up the Indians 1st and goal at the Upper St. Clair 8-yard line. And North Hills trying to answer after Upper St. Clair takes a 7-0 lead. The ensuing drive has been impressive for Pat Carey's North Hills Indians offense.
Oh, and Santucci ran behind a great block by Ben Spriggs that sprung Santucci into the defensive backfield. What a great response for the North Hills Indians here.
Football on the far hash. Hurt now just one sidecar. It's Santucci. 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far. That's Brennan to the far. Melvin Blanks is checked in, and we're going to get whistles prior to the snap here. Dead ball. It is indeed delay of game with 8:07 to play.
Well, you never like to take a penalty in this situation, especially in the red zone, but that might have been a blessing in disguise for North Hills, as Colin McClendon, the 6'1" sophomore, is coming in on a blitz. He was going to be untouched and right into the kitchen of Will Hurt. So while they lost 5 yards, they were able to keep first down at least. 1st and goal from the 13-yard line. Football on the far hash. As they come out of the huddle, Hurt again in the gun. Sidecar is not Santucci, who's lined up in the slot to the near boundary. 3 receivers to the near side. Hurt rolls that way, fires down toward the end zone. Santucci makes the catch. Did he hold on as he came down? He did. A 13-yard touchdown catch by Santucci. A money throw from Hurt, but a one-handed, left-handed grab by Nick Santucci, and the Indians pulled him within 1. It's 7-6. That was an unbelievable catch by Santucci. I am so glad that we are the video game of the week, because to not have that on video would have been a terrible tragedy. But what a great play. Excellent throw by Hurt, right on the money. Santucci very well covered. Contact as soon as he made the catch, but he was able to kind of just curl that football into his body between him and his defender, and he was able to get 1 foot down, and he is excited on the sidelines, and why shouldn't he be? On to attempt the extra point to tie this game is Danny Wagner. Play clock was running down, and the Indians didn't have enough guys on the football field. They have to take a timeout. So a charge timeout here to Pat Carey's club. He won't like that, to try and tie this football game, and I think the walk of shame for Leary and Mertezi. 7-6. North Hills awaiting the attempt for the point after touchdown on one of the best grabs you will see by Nick Santucci. Yeah, I agree. And I don't want to undersell that pass either. That was a very well thrown pass. Yeah, right to the back corner, that back pylon, and there was no way anybody from Upper St. Clair was going to touch that football. If anybody was going to touch it, was going to be Santucci and nobody else. Really well thrown, and boy, Santucci could not have made a more picturesque catch.
And credit the officials, one on the back and one on the side. They were right on it, and both of them looked at each other. And signal touchdown as Santucci hangs on. And now to attempt the extra point. Dan Wagner out of the timeout. Hold is down. The kick is up. Plenty of leg. It's betwixt the uprights. It is. We are tied at 7 apiece with 7:59 to play in the opening half. You're listening to and watching the WPIAL Football Progress Game of the Week only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network.
Monticello's Italian restaurant has been serving the Pittsburgh community for over 34 years. With over 5 northern locations, there is one near you. Monticello's has been named the best pizza, best hoagies, and best Italian restaurant by the Tribune Review for 3 years in a row. Stop in at Monticello's restaurant before or after your high school football game and mention that you heard us on the MSA Sports Network and receive a large traditional cheese pizza and 4 soft drinks for $12.99. For the complete menu and additional information, go to Monticello's.com. Monticello's, a Pittsburgh favorite.
Welcome back. Today's game being brought to you by Progress. On the audio and the video, Jess Slevo doing the honors upstairs. Progress. Hills of Pittsburgh, North Hills and Upper St. Clair, and again, the North Hills Indians looked like they were being called over by the official. Now they're being sent to the far hash. What's going on, Steve Nagler?
We've had delays on almost every single kickoff, and we're getting one again, but gives us a little bit more time to talk about that response drive by North Hills.
Big time.
Just a terrific catch by Nick Santucci.
Keep in mind, prior to that drive, they had not recorded a first down in this football game. It was a remarkable drive. Really, you talked about it about halfway through. You could see the rhythm coming to the offense, and it is so important in football. I think a lot of folks don't realize what that rhythm means to an offensive line and those backs and receivers and quarterback. Hurt, a fantastic throw. Santucci, the fantastic catch as Upper St. Clair gets set to receive this kickoff now. Out of the run-up comes Chutko. High and short to the far boundary. And Felina will watch it bounce. It'll finally be picked up at about the 20-yard line by Upper St. Clair. Precarious there as McClendon just realized, oh my gosh, that's a live football. He rushed up and pounces on it. Right at the 20, 1st and 10 there for Upper St. Clair.
You talk about Will Hurt and his impact on that North Hills drive. It was 5 of 6 through the air for 45 yards on that touchdown drive.
Football on the far hash here at the 20-yard line as Jim Render's Panthers get set to try and answer in a tie game, 7 apiece. Hansberry has them in a huddle. And they'll come out over the football. Kadar, the deep back. Receiver to the far boundary is Sepulio. And this will be Kadar play a little quick hitter for the fullback. Jack Burton will bang his way forward. Let's give him 1, maybe 2.
Interesting that Visman is not out there on this drive to start it, at least.
Now Felina will check in. Burton will check out. 2nd down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Khalil Jackson wide to the near boundary. Felino lined up as a receiver far side. Here's Kadar, 1st down and more, out over the 30, still on his feet, bullying his way forward to the 35. And some good speed right there by Blake Kadar, the quick hitter, off left tackle, and he's got a 1st down for the Upper St. Clair Panthers all the way out to the 35-yard line.
Oh, nice run by Kadar. Kadar's not a real big back, 5'11", 185. That might be stretching it a little bit, but very successful on that 2nd and long.
I'm trying to see if I see Tom Visman. I don't see anyone getting tended to. Maybe just a breather for Visman. And Kadar had a great season last year as well. Now split the backs behind Hansberry. Felino the up back. Play action fake. Hansberry to throw. Has time. Looking deep down the middle of the football field. He's got Geisler open at the 25-yard line. Just barely overthrown. Would have been a huge gainer. Santucci was back there defensively for the Indians. just off the fingertips of Jackson Geisler. It'll set up a 2nd down 10.
What a nice deep pass again. He really throws a nice deep ball. Second time, he just missed connecting with his receiver. That time, Geisler running a post to the middle of the football field. He just couldn't run under it. Well, you see the arm from Hansberry.
Yeah, he looked very comfortable throwing that ball, and it went a long way in the air. Now Visman is checked back in. He's the sidecar here. 2 receivers to each boundary, and then movement up front. Look at everybody. There were people in the stands that threw flags on that play. There are 6 flags on the football field right now. The far guard for Upper St. Clair actually started to pull prior to the snap, and it's going to be 2nd down at 15. March it back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was Jay Pollock, who was just a count early before that snap.
Football on the far hash. 6:43 to play. The opening half. We're tied at 7 apiece. 3 receivers to the near. Again, Visman the sidecar here. And again, this time they will send in motion to the far boundary, Sapulio. Hansberry rolls this way, and the pass a little bit behind his intended receiver, Colin McClendon, out at the 32-yard line. And it will set up a 3rd down and 15.
That was not a good throw by Hansberry. We've talked about how good he looks throwing these passes he's attempted so far. And that one was behind the intended receiver, McClendon. He tried to turn back and make a one-handed catch. He was not able to.
3rd and 15. 2 receivers near, 2 receivers far. This is Kyle in the slot to the near boundary. Hansberry, straight drop, trying to set up the play. Has plenty of time, looking deep, and he throws downfield. Batted away. Good play defensively by Nick Santucci. Pass was intended for Dom Sapulio. And the Panthers going to be forced to punt, and all of a sudden, very clearly, momentum on the side of the North Hills Indians. And while I thought Visman entered for a play in that drive, it wasn't. It was McClendon. Visman, I don't see him on the far sideline right now, Steve.
I do not either, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that. That would be a huge, huge loss for Upper St. Clair if Visman was not able to return to this football game.
Pair of deep backs back for North Hills. Sapulio to punt it away. Snap is good. He'll get that kick away from about the 20. Low end over end kick, but it's going to take a huge Upper St. Clair bounce. It is going to work out like he bombed it and be downed all the way back at the 17-yard line. And Jack Burton will down it. 53-yard punt for Dom Sapulio. Was not a thing of beauty, Steve Nagler, but if you, we do have the video. So for Santucci's sake, you're glad we had the video. For Sapulio's sake, when he's talking about that 53 punt, he's going to want the audio side only.
Yeah, that's right. He's gonna want to tell everybody it went. This is a perfect spiral. Right around the light level. It was not, folks.
Here's Hurt in the gun on 1st and 10 in a tied football game, 7 apiece. 2 receivers near. This is Santucci. Little hops in his. Hitching his giddy up, if you will, as he gets to the line of scrimmage, and not much more. Eli Grape there, as well as Sapulio. A gain of 1, maybe 2.
A lot of time for this North Hill Indians offense to mount another drive. Their last drive took up over 7 minutes.
And we get inside 6 minutes to play in the half. 2 receivers to the near boundary are Brennan and Walker. Santucci, the deep back. And he will motion out of the formation, play action fake. Now they'll toss it to him near side, looking for a block. He gets one in the back. And Walker going to get called there as he put the block on Carl Flinter. And that's going to be an illegal block in the back call. And what would have been a short gainer is going to go backwards with 5:32 to play in the half. North Hills 7, Upper St. Clair 7. I'm sorry, Steve, go ahead.
No problem. It looks like in all likelihood they're going to accept that penalty. That had the makings of being a pretty good play, but actually in the course of the play, Santucci actually stumbled over his blocker who was engaged in the defender and blocking him in the back. So it will be half the distance from the 18-yard line.
Put it back just inside the 8. Second down and 19. Nose of the football almost at the 8-yard line. Hurt in the pistol. He has a sidecar he wants to throw. That pump fakes to the far side. Flushed out of the pocket, running in the end zone now, and he'll just throw it away far side. Walker was over there, but I think he wanted to set up a little pump fake and then try to hit Brennan on the fly, but by the time he shook loose, he was really under duress in his own end zone. He's going to set up a 3rd down and long.
I think that was the problem. I think he really wanted to go to Bryce Walker all the way. It was kind of a stop and then start pattern, kind of an out and up. And I think Walker had a little bit more time, might have broken free behind the secondary, but Hurt just didn't have the time to set up.
Incompletion stops the clock with 5:10 to play here in the opening half. We're tied at 7 apiece, Hurt in the gun on 3rd and 19. And this will be Santucci, right side, trying to bounce it outside, going to the far side. Strung out neatly by the Upper St. Clair Panther defense. Eli Grape leading the way along with Gabe Hoy. And that is just absolutely fantastic textbook defense from Jim Render's Upper St. Clair Panthers. They're going to get the football back and probably pretty good field position with inside 5 minutes to play in this opening half.
You know, as a defensive coach, you always want to see your team kind of go to the football. You know, make sure that you're following that football, stay in the course of play. They strung it out really well. Didn't give Santucci anywhere to cut that football up the football field.
See if the Panthers come after this. Snap a little high, but the kick is away. High, short kick. Fair catch called for, and the fair catch made at the 37-yard line by Kyle. So the Panthers very much in business in a tie game at 7 apiece. Some of the top athletes in the WPIAL are featured every week on the MSA Sports Center stage, which you can view on our YouTube page. Log on to our website this fall, www.msasports.net. Check out which athletes we are talking to, plus our weekly game lights are all also now featured on the MSA Sports Network. We'll get a timeout on the football if you want to take a break as well, Steve.
No, we'll keep it here.
Keep it here. We're all caught up.
I was going to make a point. We were kind of making light of Dom Sapulio's punt, but very effective. 53 yards. It kind of flip-flopped field position.
Big time.
Upper St. Clair comes onto the football field. They get help with a block in the back penalty, but they force a North Hills punt. It wasn't nearly as effective, and now all of a sudden Upper St. Clair takes over this football with 4:22 to go in the first half on North Hill's 38-yard line. So good job by Sapulio to kind of flip-flop field position for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Football slightly closer to this near hash. Both clubs have huddled up right now with their head coaches in a dandy in week 1.
Jess Levo not just getting video of this football game, getting intel from the Upper St. Clair stat guys asking where Visman was, and they had no idea either, unfortunately. So we'll see if he's back out on the football field in this possession.
They will come out over the football. No, he is not. Kadar is the deep back. The up back is Burton. With 4:22 to play. And this will be a play-action fake. Hansberry rolls to the far side. He has plenty of time. Sets up, fires deep, looking into the end zone. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And again there, defensively, was Melvin Blanks. And the pass was intended for Khalil Jackson. Another beautiful throw by Hansberry. That actually looked like it got in to Jackson. He just couldn't hold on to it.
Well, he needed to throw it just a split second earlier. Jackson had a step on the defenders, but because the ball was thrown just a little bit late and was in the air a little bit too long, the defenders were able to make a move, come up and break that pass up.
2nd and 10. Football remains at the North Hills 38-yard line, just inside the near hash. Geisler to the far boundary. Burton the up back. Kadar the deep back in the broken eye behind Hansberry. Play action fake again. Blitz comes off the far edge. Hansberry going to be hit and sacked as the far edge blitzer forced him up inside, and Alex Glatz comes up to make the tackle on the near side for a loss of 4 all the way back to the 42-yard line. Set up a 3rd down 14 for the Panthers, and the North Hills Indian defense team since surrendering that Upper St. Clair long drive for a touchdown, has really battened down the hatches.
They have played very well in this first half. That time bringing 6 defenders, bringing the blitz, and kind of caving in that offensive line of the Upper St. Clair Panthers, ultimately getting the 4-yard sack.
Panthers will take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. We're tied at 7, 3:32 to play in the first. You're listening in the first half. You're listening and watching WPIAL Football 2016 on the MSA Sports Network.
Log on every Wednesday night at 7 for the latest high school football news during this week in the WPIAL here on the MSA Sports Network. Join Don Rebel and other members of the MSA Sports team as they visit with WPIAL football coaches, plus they run down the upcoming schedule and preview the weekend's top high school football games. That's this week in the WPIAL, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. this fall, only on the MSA Sports Network.
Officially Sports is your one-stop shop for all your officiating needs. If you need a shirt, jacket, pants, shoes, whistles, etc., Officially Sports has it all, and they are the sole licensed supplier for the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association. Officially Sports also provides custom bags and apparel to help promote your officials association. Mention this ad and receive free shipping until November 1st. Order online at www.officiallysports.com or call 1-800-934-4555. That's 1-800-934-4555.
The team at MSA Sports would like to thank the BSN Sports team for providing our team with new black and white polos for the school year. BSN Sports has joined the MSA Sports sponsorship family and will be featured weekly in a coaches matchup game of the week starting next Friday night. 3rd down, 14 for the Upper St. Clair Panthers with 3 minutes and 39 seconds to play in the opening half. Tom Vitzman has not played offensively in either of Upper St. Clair's last 2 drives. Kadar remains the deep bag. Hansberry in the gun, and this will be Kadar taking a handoff, trying the right side, and he's going to be hit and wrapped up. Beautiful tackle in the open field made by Tyler Brennan, the sophomore. And he was alone there. If Kadar was able to find a way to get around him, he had plenty of room, but he'll get to pick up 3 yards and then be dropped by Brennan, and the Panthers will be forced to punt.
And I think Jim Render just wanted to make sure that they don't make a mistake late in this first half. No turnovers. And so he played it a little bit close to the vest on that 3rd down and 14 call.
Cipolio set to punt. He waits for the punt at his own 48-yard line. Santucci waits for the kick at his own 11. Cipolio left foots it, and he sends it to the far sideline. Takes a big time North Hills bounce after hitting at the 15, bounce all the way back out to the 19 on one hop, and it'll be down at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 there for North Hills. We're tied at 7 now. 2 minutes, 43 seconds to play in the half.
And a very interesting kind of scenario here with the ball settling on the 19-yard line of the North Hills Indians. What do the Indians do? Do they try to go on a drive? Do they try to break this tie, or do they play it close to the vest to make sure that they're not turning it over late in the first half?
Walker and Brennan to the near boundary. 2 receivers to the far. Sidecar here for Hurt on 1st and 10. This will be Santucci. Takes the handoff, picks his way forward, and lowers the shoulder at the 23-yard line. He goes down, but he delivered the blow at the end of that run. And he will pick up 5, set up a 2nd down and 5. Tackle there made by Kissinger, but he paid the price for that tackle, Steve Nagler.
Yeah, he really did. Santucci, only 170 pounds, but lowered the boom.
2 to the near. Give him 6, 2nd and a long 4. Hurt and Santucci talking something over in the backfield. Hurt in the gun. Play action fake, and he'll throw it to the near side. Brennan will watch it bounce off his left hand. He might have almost made a decision not to catch that ball, Steve, because he was going to lose yards if he did.
Yeah, Brennan may be a good choice there, but he's got to be careful because that is really close to being a lateral. And if you give up on a lateral and the defense doesn't, it can end up being a turnover.
Sets up a 3rd down and 4. Incompletion stops the clock with exactly 1:59 to play. in the half. Now Santucci, this is where he was when he made the touchdown grab. Lines up in the slot to the near. He's one of 3 receivers to the near boundary for Hurt on 3rd and 4. And instead they'll give it to Gillespie straight ahead. Burton sniffed that out. Burton and Foligno, a great job defensively to stuff that. And it's going to be 4th down. It'll be punt time for the North Hills Indians. Let's see if Jim Renner uses a timeout here. I think he did.
Yeah, he did. He's going to stop the clock as he uses his second charge timeout. And will try to get his offense the football back. Still a minute 51 seconds to go on this first half clock. Plenty of time.
We have seen Hansberry with a tremendous throwing arm. I don't think throwing distance is ever going to be a problem for the junior quarterback.
No, he's had a rough first half in terms of completion percentage. He's only 1 for 6, but that completion was a beauty to Khalil Jackson for 35 yards.
And North Hills has not punted the ball very well all night.
Yeah, you're right.
So you expect Upper St. Clair probably going to get pretty good field position here. McClendon will go back along with Kyle. They'll just get at about their own 37-yard line.
Well, they are set up really deep. I'd probably come up about 10 yards if I were them.
Low snap. Scooped up neatly, but knee was down when the punter went down to grab that football. That is going to be Upper St. Clair football at the 11-yard line.
Wow.
Taking a knee to pick up the bounced snap was Nate Bly.
Well, and I don't know about that. It was very, very close. It was the snap was low. He had to go down. It did bounce. He was able to field it cleanly. However, he just wasn't able to get that knee up before he fielded that football. So a huge, not really turnover, but effectively so.
And this will be Hansberry under center. I formation behind him. Burton dotted by Kadar. This is Burton right up the end zone. Burton into the end zone. Touchdown Upper St. Clair. A mistake by the Indians, and the Panthers pounce to take the lead back. An 11-yard touchdown run by Burton. It's 13-7 Upper St. Clair.
Wow, that is really an amazing turn of events. As tough break for the North Hills Indians. They give up a lot of yards on their punt and turn the ball over to Upper St. Clair on their own 11-yard line, and Burton makes no mistake. He runs the first chance right up the middle. Jack Burton, the junior fullback, into the end zone.
Jeff Howard's extra point is up and good. 14-7, Upper St. Clair on top. You're listening to and watching WPIAL Football 2016, brought to you by Progress, First and Turf, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
Back at Upper St. Clair, Nate Bly, low snap. The punter for the North Hills Indians went to a knee to pick up the low snap on one bounce, fielded it cleanly, but the official said his knee was down when he touched the football. The Panthers took over. 1st and 10 at the North Hills 11-yard line. They capitalized immediately, an 11-yard touchdown run by Jack Burton, and Upper St. Clair takes a 14-7 lead.
And somebody in the press box noted that if we had instant replay, that would have been a scenario to take a look at where Nate Bly's knee was when he fielded that punt that was low. But we do not have instant replay.
I'll say this, Nate Bly didn't argue for a second. Now, maybe that's good sportsmanship, or maybe that's, I know my knee was down. I mean, he literally, just as soon as the whistle blew, he ran straight to the near sideline. Howard on the run up here, and the left footer sends it deep to the near. It'll bounce there. Brennan will see it bounce out of bounds. Did he touch it?
He did.
Yes, he did, and it's going to be North Hills football at the 5-yard line. So back-to-back mistakes for the Indians. With 1:42 to play, 1st and 10 at their own 5. And they've just got to try to grind it out. Now, luckily for them, Jim Render's only got 1 timeout left. Hurt will bring him out of the huddle, but they're in the shadow of their own goalpost, trailing 14-7. Hurt in the pistol. Santucci stands in his own end zone. Take the handoff. Right side. He's going to lose a yard, maybe 2. Grape on the penetration.
Well, we have heard a lot of Eli Grape tonight. And again, Grape beating his man on the offensive line, getting into that backfield. Actually, it was fortunate that the running back, Santucci, was able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Actually lost about a half, maybe even a full yard. Now Hurt will come in. Play clock at 13. They need to run that play clock down, Steve, all the way to about 2 or 3 seconds before they snap this football. Santucci, the lone setback. 2 receivers to the far. Here's Santucci taking a handoff. And he will pull his way out over the 5 and out to the 10-yard line. Good piece of running right there. Hoy on the tackle for the Panthers gets some help as well from Matt Kissinger. And we get inside 40 seconds to play in the half.
If Upper St. Clair gets a stop here, they're going to be able to stop the clock one more time, and it looks like
they'll call a timeout.
I thought Jim Render might wait to call a timeout until after 3rd down, but he's going to opt to call the timeout after 2nd.
So with 34.6 seconds remaining, they'll actually put 1.4 seconds back on the clock and run it up to 36 seconds. See how I did that math right there, Steve? I didn't even have to write anything down. Don't forget, coming up at the half, Don Rebel and Mike White of the Post-Gazette looking at teams to watch up and down the WPIAL in this 2016 season. Steve and I will get you up to date on some scores from around the WPIAL as well, including in this Allegheny Nine. A whole lot of fantastic football games around the WPIAL tonight, including Beaver Falls playing Aliquippa, a team we had a chance to see last week, South Fayette, taking on Mars at home. A huge game there in Quad A in the Northwest 9. I think that ends up being for the title. We'll get you up to date on those scores and more as we make our way through week 1 of the WPIAL football season. Big play coming up here for Hurt, Santucci, and company. Brandon and Walker to the near boundary on 2nd and 4 from the 10. Hurt will turn, give it to Santucci. And he is going to get out to the 14. He's going to be very close.
I think they're going to say he's short of the lead stick.
Yep, I think by almost a full yard shy. But now the play clock is at 25, the game clock at 16. They won't have to run another play, so they dodge that bullet. That'll be the final play of the half, as the clock will tick to triple zeros with Upper St. Clair on top by a score of 14-7. You're listening to WPIAL Football 2016, brought to you by Progress, First and Turf, only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network.
Make sure to follow the MSA Sports Network on social media this season for breaking news, scores, links to our articles, and much more. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/MSA Sports and get in on the conversation with thousands of local sports fans. Follow us on Twitter at MSA Sports and check out our YouTube channel, MSA Sports WPIAL, for hundreds of video interviews with local student athletes, game highlights, and more. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or our websites, MSA Sports is the place to go for high school sports in Western Pennsylvania.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose Progress. first in turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, first in turf.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Back at Upper St. Clair High School alongside Steve Nagler. Halftime, 14-7 has been a great football game. Late mistake by the North Hills Indians on special teams. A turnover on a low snap on an attempted punt puts Upper St. Clair in business. 1st and 10 at the North Hills 11-yard line. They capitalize immediately. A 11-yard touchdown run to take the lead, 14-7, but a very well-played football game for both of these teams in this first half of football tonight.
I agree. There has been some pluses on the offensive side. I think both defensives have played very well.
And we talked about how important it was for them to play better defensively, really both of these teams all the way through 2016.
Take a look at the scoring. Upper St. Clair got on the board first late in the first quarter at the 46-second mark. A 6-yard touchdown run by Tom Visman. Extra point was good. Upper St. Clair took a 7-0 lead into the second quarter, but a great drive in response to that opening touchdown by the North Hills Indians. It was a 13-yard touchdown pass from Will Hurt to Nick Santucci, a beauty. Well-thrown ball to the back corner of the end zone. Nick Santucci engaged with the defender, able to make a one-handed catch and score the touchdown. Extra point was good, and with 7:59 to go in the first half, North Hills tied the score at 7. But Upper St. Clair, as Sam mentioned, scores late in that second quarter after the turnover, after the kneeling on the punt play. The punter, Nate Bly, took a low snap and could not keep his right knee off of the turf. It gave Upper St. Clair great field position on the 11-yard line of North Hills, and Jack Burton, one play later, goes off guard and into the end zone for the 11-yard touchdown run. Extra point was good. That's where we stand at the half. 14-7 Upper St. Clair. They outgained North Hills as a team, 125-89. And Thomas Visman having a good first half before he did not return. We have not seen him in the last few Upper St. Clair, the last 3 Upper St. Clair possessions. Before that, he carried the ball 9 times for 48 yards. Jack Burton, 3 carries for 15 yards and that 11-yard touchdown. Blake Kadar, 3 carries for 17 yards. And Jack Hansberry, not the greatest of first halves through the air, 1 of 6 for 35 yards. Will Hurt, the quarterback of the North Hills Indians, 5 of 9 for 45 yards in the first half. All 5 completions came on that scoring drive. And he has the touchdown pass to Nick Santucci. Santucci, 14 carries, 52 yards in the first half. And Jeff Gillespie, 3 carries for 7 yards. That is your halftime scoring summary. Again, 14-7 Upper St. Clair here at the half.
We're going to just jump up straight to the halftime show. Don Rebel, Mike White, you're listening to 2016 WPIAL football brought to you by Progress, First and Turf, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
Welcome to week one of the WPIAL season and week one of the halftime show here on the MSA Sports Network. I am Don Rebel. Mike White of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette joins me. It says week one on the calendar, Michael.
Week two. I'll go along with it. But
come on. It seems like we've been doing this now for 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right.
And we're here to talk, not players.
No, that's next week.
Okay. Teams
to watch in 2016.
Well, in the front half before the break, I thought I would talk about, we're going to have to go over the best teams after the break, Dawn, in the whole WPIAL. But I thought I would talk about maybe some teams to watch, maybe call them sleepers. I don't know if sleeper is the right maybe? Term. Yeah, I don't think, maybe not to win a championship, but I think they could make an impact and make some noises here. We'll start with 6A. I think you have to look at Bethel Park. They did lose a lot, but Don, 6A is not real strong from top to bottom. It's top heavy, but I don't think it's real strong. And what about Penn Hills? At least you have to watch their passing game. Cam Tarrant, 530 yards passing last week. I think Seneca Valley's an intriguing team.
More than half of his total from a year ago.
That's right, and he commented on it. Did you read that in the Post-Gazette? And
factoid.
Jack Cook makes Seneca Valley an intriguing team. The second-year coach there, Dave Vestal. 5A. I think this 5A and 4A have the most depth of any classes on it as far as good teams. McKeesport and Gateway, new coaches, pretty good programs. Matt Miller at McKeesport, Don Hall at Gateway, used to be Seneca's coach. I don't know if you classify McKeesport as a sleeper team there. I think everybody thinks they're going to be good, but the new coach, of course, he has a lot of George Smith in him. He was a longtime assistant, Matt Miller. Do we have to look at Plum? They're coming off one of their best seasons in a while, and don't forget about Franklin Regional. Mm-hmm. I still think they could be decent. 4A, I say still watch out for Highlands. I don't think they can win a championship, and they're in a tough conference, but with Braden Timons, Mitch Dezort, or is it Dezort? It seems like a lot of people
I like Highlands.
May have forgotten about them, but they're good players. They're good. I think don't forget about Montour. Still good in Bell Vernon. They lost a lot, but I think they'll be good. 3A, Beaver might not even make the playoffs in that conference down there, Beaver Falls, Aliquippa, Central Valley. But, Don, I still think they're going to be very good. And they would maybe win one of those other conferences. McGuffey, do we watch them? They were pretty good last year. Marcus Chulowitz back. Keystone Oaks, quarterback Alex Smith, one of the better quarterbacks around. I think 2A sleeper, maybe Avonworth. They're in a tough conference. They lost a lot, but the Duke of Avonworth, has that program going. I still think they'll be strong for many years. And single A, sleeper, they were so good for years, and they fell on hard times. But Gene Maxuk says the Rochester Rams are coming back to significance. Watch them.
Okay. Top teams in the 6 classifications coming up when the halftime show here in week one continues on the MSA Sports Network.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's WPIAL football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the MSA Sports Scoreboard Show here on the MSA Sports Network. Hi, I'm Don Rebel. Join me in the MSA Sports Gang for all the scores and recaps from the top games, plus the MSA Sports Roundtable. That's the MSA Sports Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the MSA Sports Network and at msasports.net. Along with Mike White, I'm Don Rebel. Halftime show continues, talking about teams to watch. The creme de la creme, Michael White.
What's that mean?
That's French.
Oh, I took Spanish in college.
That's the
no
only...
lo sé. That was my favorite answer in class.
Hola.
I don't know.
What was that again?
No lo sé.
No lo sé.
That was my answer in class all the time.
He was an outfielder for the Dodgers in 19... No, go ahead.
That was Ron Say.
All right.
All right, here we go. Best teams in the back half here after the break.
Yes.
We'll start in 6A. Don, 6A is really top-heavy. There's only 14 teams in the class. And the cream of the crop is definitely at the top half, and there's not a lot of depth, I don't think, of really, really good teams, but because there is only 14 teams. But I think you got to, no matter what happened to Central Catholic that first week, I think they're still the best team. The team they played was really good, St. John's of D.C. How will Central do in the WPIAL? I think they'll do really good, but they are not unbeatable. Just like last year. They lost to North Allegheny in the second game of the year.
Right.
Pine Ridge is still good. Phil Jakovic, enough about him. He's, proven himself. He did it again last week. But they have an interesting game tonight at Mount Lebanon. I think Mount Lebanon is good. I think they're a sleeper team in Quad A. A lot of players back, some good talented players. Watch out, Pine Ridge, in this game. And don't forget about North Allegheny. Although they lost, I think they're still one of the strongest teams. 5A, I think you have to look at Upper St. Clair, Woodland Hills. They're not with the big boys anymore. But I think they'll both be really good. Well, even though Woodland Hills did not have any starters back on offense from last year, they're still good. And they play in the same conference, the Allegheny Nine, with West Allegheny. That's a really good conference. But so is the other conference on the Big East. Maybe not quite as strong, but you got McKeesport and Penn Trafford there. Thomas Jefferson, does it seem like they're most people's favorite in 4A, or does South Fayette fall in there too?
Well, they're 1-2, and wow, wouldn't that be a clash in the end?
It would. And they have Thomas Jefferson, a number of kids back from last year's championship team, but they got South Fayette, 37 regular season games. They've won in a row. Mars and Newcastle. Don't sleep on Ringgold either, or also Montour. 3A, all the beasts are in the Beaver Valley Conference. Aliquippa, Beaver Falls, Central Valley, Beaver. It's a shame WPIAL built a super conference there and only 8 teams in the playoffs in 3A, which means only 2 of those are guaranteed a playoff spot and possibly a third as a wild card team. 2A, Steel Valley seems like everyone's favorite, although Washington, I still think they're pretty good. If the new alignment helps Steel Valley, because if this was the old days, they would be in with Aliquippa, Beaver Falls. Now it seems like they're everyone's favorite in AA. I really like Washington, though, as I stated before. Single A, 1A, wide gap between the top 2 teams, and I think the rest on. Clairton, prohibitive favorite as the number 1, but Jeanette's right there with them. How about Clairton trying to win their 9th WPIAL title since 2006?
Wow, amazing. Next week, Michael, we have
the Players.
Enjoy the second half of the game. You are listening to here on the MSA Sports Network.
Back at Upper St. Clair at the break, the Panthers on top by a score of 14-7 against the North Hills Indians, and it has been a whale of a week 1 for my partner Steve Nagler and I. Just leave them alongside. Our thanks to Matt Mellinger and all the fine folks at Upper St. Clair for their hospitality and delicious halftime buffet. Always one of my, and it's so great, but it's so simple, Steve. You go out and you get about 9,000 or 10,000 chicken tenders from Chick-fil-A. You get 9,000 or 10,000 chocolate chip cookies, every sauce you can imagine, and 4 or 5 jugs of iced tea. Boom. That's a party.
That's all you need. And that's what we were provided. We enjoyed it at the half. We do thank Matt Mellinger of Upper St. Clair. Let's quickly take a look at the scores around the WPIAL. We'll start with last night's game in the City League. Brashear defeated Alderdice by the score of 7-6. Here tonight, Bell Vernon has a 26-6 lead over Albert Gallatin. All of these scores are first half scores. Norwin 27, Altoona 13, Avella 16, West Green 12, Beaver 34, Freedom nothing, Aliquippa 18, Beaver Falls 7. Brownsville 20, Bentworth 15. Burgettstown is defeating Fraser by the score of 14-6. Burl 19, Hopewell 7. Penn Hill shutting out Butler by the score of 24-0. Carlinton beating Avonworth. That is a shocker. That game is at the half. 19-14 Carleton. Central Valley 24, Elwood City 6, Washington 37, Charleroi nothing. Jeanette 34, Chartiers Houston 14, Clairton 36, Bishop Canevin 8, Mapletown shutting out Cornell 6-0. Deer Lake's doing the same to Apollo Ridge. That game 28-0. Derry 7, Elizabeth Forward 0. East Allegheny 35, South Allegheny 0. Fort Cherry edging California at the half 7-6. Ringgold 6, Greensburg Salem 3. Hampton 16, Chartiers Valley 10. Hempfield 21, Cannon McMillan 12. Highlands all over Ambridge 49-0 in the second quarter. Springdale doing the same 47-0 over Jefferson Morgan at the half. Kiski 11, Plums 7. Knock and Blackhawk are knotted at 21. Laurel edging Indiana by the score of 17-16. Quaker Valley 13, McGuffey 0. McKeesport shutting out Franklin Regional 14-0. Laurel 15, Mohawk 8. Monessen trails Carmichael's 14-6 in the second quarter. Newcastle all over Montour 26-0. That game at the half. Armstrong shutting out Moon by the score of 21-0. Mount Lebanon and Pine Richland tied 14-all in at the half. Mount Pleasant shutting out Waynesburg by the score of 28-0. Neshannock really shockingly blowing out Cardinal World North Catholic 36-0 at the half. North Allegheny defeating Bethel Park by the score of 14-6. That's a first quarter score. Northgate 26, Our Lady of the Sacred Heart Chargers 6. Penn Trafford shutting out Connellsville 41-0. Shenango 21, Rochester 14. Seneca Valley 34, Peters Township 7. Seton LaSalle 21, Shadyside 14. Central Catholic is bludgeoning Shaler by the score of 42-0. South Fayette 21, Mars 7. That game at the half. South Park 28, Southmoreland 0. Southside 16, New Brighton 7. West Mifflin 7, Trinity 0. Union 6, Stowe Rocks 0. Thomas Jefferson all over Uniontown by the score of 35-0. Keystone Oaks 14, Valley no score. Freeport 41, Vincentian Academy 6. West Allegheny shutting out Fox Chapel 16-0. And Woodland Hills 27, Baldwin 6. One more score, Beth Center 12, Yock 0. 4 games of note tomorrow. Monty Christian plays host to Greensburg Central Catholic. Leechburg goes on the road to take on Riverview. Western Beaver faces Summit Academy. And the Cesar Chavez champions taking on the Westinghouse Bulldogs.
It's always exciting to kind of see the football season take shape. You come into these seasons with, ideas and thoughts of what you think teams are going to be, but you never know. But I think in Neshannock last week, we saw them in week 0 serve notice by beating a Farrell club pretty convincingly, 44-14. But we didn't really know. We haven't seen Farrell. They haven't been in the district for a while. We couldn't be sure. But this controlling of CWNC tonight is really kind of, I think, a serving notice, if you will. The Neshannock Lancers clearly are one of the big-time teams to watch in AA.
I agree.
Other surprises there, Carleton, I'm not certain. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I don't think Carleton has won a football game, Steve, in at least 2 years.
It's been that long, yeah. And they have not.
And that's Avonworth.
Right.
Duke Shakur, that's a club that 2 years ago played in the championship, and they had really kind of reached the point where you start talking about Avonworth as a program, one of those programs that is consistently around. So you never know what's going to happen, and we're going to continue to find out as we go through this second Friday night, week 1 of the 2016 WPIAL season. We'll take another break. We'll come back and kick off second half action. You're listening to WPIAL Football 2016, only here on the Management Science Associates Sports Network.
I love how you remodeled the house. Thanks, Mom. Steaks are done!
How did you two afford all of this?
We got a great home equity loan at Dollar Bank.
That's right. They have a rate as low as 2.59% APR with only $25,000 borrowed, fixed for 7 years. All my idea.
Your dad and I are looking to refinance, and that's one of the lowest rates yet. We really need to get our payments down.
Give Dollar Bank a call. They'll help you save a lot of money. Just remember who gave you the idea.
Oh, my.
Talk to a Dollar Bank loan expert today. They're not paid a commission and only have your best interests in mind. Start saving money now. Refinance to one of the lowest rates around. 2.59% APR fixed for 7 years. Longer terms are available. Stop by, call 1-800-242-BANK, or visit dollar.bank. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired. Rate is for well-qualified borrowers and includes a discount with a qualifying checking account. Not available for the refinance of a Dollar Bank loan, line, or mortgage of less than $15,000 in new money. Monthly payment of $13.03 per $1,000 borrowed. Other terms and conditions apply, subject to change without notice. Equal housing lender.
MSASports.net is the place to click on every day this fall.
On Mondays, we have the latest MSA Sports Top 10 football rankings.
Tuesday is a look back at the biggest and best plays from the previous Scholastic football weekend with the plays of the week.
We go big game hunting on Wednesday with a preview of the top 4 WPIAL football contests.
I'll look into my crystal ball on Thursday with the wildly popular Chicks Picks.
Also on Thursday, we preview the college football slate in the region for the upcoming weekend, then we recap those games each and every Sunday.
A complete rundown of all the games comes your way on Friday, plus plenty of broadcasts to choose from on Friday nights.
On Saturday, we'll take a look at the top performances with Friday night highlights. Then on Sunday, a look back at the previous day's high school standouts with Saturday's Scholastic Stars.
Anytime, anywhere, always there this fall with the MSA Sports Network at MSASports.net.
Back in Upper St. Clair as we get set for the start of period number 3. The Panthers on top of the North Hills Indians by a score of 14-7. Here in Week 1, North Hills comes into this game at 1-0 overall. They played that Week 0 game, a 28-7 win over Shaler last week, and they have come into this season, I think, with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder after going 3-7 last year, being thumped in the opening round by Penn Trafford 56-7. Upper St. Clair we have as the number 1 team in 5A at the MSA Sports Top 10. We expected a lot, and I think still do expect a lot from Jim Render's Panthers here in 2016. We haven't seen Tom Visman on the football field. He is back out there now as they get stretched out and warmed up for period number 3. We'll see if that is a good sign for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Although the truth is, Kadar has been very solid running the football as well, not only last year, but here tonight in Visman's absence.
Yeah, he's done a good job in his stead. He's only gotten 3 carries, but he has broken a couple of nice runs. I think both these teams have looked pretty good here in quote-unquote Week 1. Certainly the North Hills opting to play the Week 0 game, I think, gives them a little bit of an advantage. I think both these teams are significantly better than they were last year.
I do too. I don't think there's any question about it.
And
I think hugely on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, and I think Pat Carey of North Hills is happy with the way this team has started through the first 6 quarters, and certainly, Jim Render has to be pretty pleased with the fact that his team has taken this 14-7 lead at the half.
I'm glad you kind of touched on that. You and I haven't talked about this, but I'm very interested to hear what you think, because I'm not sure. There's one kind of playing a game last week takes away kind of what would have been a night of practice, if you will, a night of a scrimmage where you're practicing and you can be hands-on in a game situation with another team. But I'm with you. I believe that playing an actual game, there's more benefit to that than there is in that scrimmage.
Well, I think there is. I think it was about 50-50, the teams that decided to play. And it was 50-50 in this conference, too. I was looking, 5 of the 9 teams played a Week 0 game, 4 did not. I think injuries you probably have to take into consideration. You probably would feel like, gosh, I would regret it if one of my top skill players gets hurt in Week 0 and we can't go into the conference season
fully loaded.
Fully loaded. Maybe that's the reason why, but boy, I don't know. I think I would, as a coach, I would opt to play that extra game, give my team a little bit of extra experience in doing that. And we got a chance to see a great one last week. South Fayette and Central Valley, those teams probably wanting to get a litmus test of where those teams, really were before they went into their very difficult conference schedules.
Indeed they were. We're getting set for the third quarter kickoff here. Upper St. Clair to get the football to start this period. On the run up for the North Hills Indians comes Chutko, and he will send it bouncing at the 13-yard line. Pick up on a hop there. And taken forward by McClendon into the open field, out over the 30, 35, all the way out to the 37, maybe even the 38-yard line. Solid return from McClendon. 1st and 10 there for the Panthers, up 14-7. Slide the football closer to the near hash. See where they're going to spot this. 37, 38. They're going to get a new football. 1st and 10, mark it right at the 37, right betwixt the hashes. On the brand new C of USC. Wide to the near boundary. For Upper St. Clair comes Sapulio. Hansberry under center. Kadar, the quick hitter from Burton up the gut. Kadar, here goes Burton, 30, still on his feet. Deep into North Hills territory. Burton took the little inside handoff, the quick hitter off to the races, and he's all the way down to the 25-yard line of the North Hills Indians. A huge play for Upper St. Clair to start period number 3.
What a great run by Jack Burton. Well, you talked about the fact that it was a quick hitter. That's exactly right. Everybody had eyes on Blake Kadar, but a very quick handoff from Hansberry to Burton, and it surprised the defense. He was in the defensive secondary very quickly, 38 yards on that run.
And Felino in as the crab-walking fullback here. Kadar will take the handoff, follow Felino over the left side. Tough sledding there, a yard, maybe 2. Let's set up a 2nd down and 9. It's still no Tom Visman.
No, I think we might have seen the end of Visman for this evening. I hope we'd see him come back, but I don't see him over on that far sideline.
I saw him during halftime when they came out the stretch. He was fully dressed, had his hat on. 2nd down and 9. Geisler to the near boundary. Kadar the deep back in the eye. Felino the up back. Fake it to Felino. Give it to Kadar. Try the right side this time. Picks his way forward inside the 20. Still on his feet. And bulls his way forward. Down near the 16-yard line. Let's see if they're going to mark it down just right at the 17-yard line. Brzezinski on the tackle for the Indians. Mark him at the 17. 3rd down and 2. Yard to gain is the 15. Football closer to the far hash as they come out of the huddle. McClendon in the backfield now. Pair of sidecars. Burton to the left of Hansberry. McClendon to the right. Motion Kyle to the far side. Give it to McClendon. He will pick his way over the middle of the football field and come back to the outside hash. He's got the 1st down inside the 15 all the way down to the 12-yard line. Well run play that time by the Panther offense. So a couple of different guys filling in instead of Tom Visman. 1st and 10 from the 12, 9:50 on a rolling 3rd quarter clock. Panthers up by 7, looking for more. Split backs again. McClendon to the right of Hansberry. Felino to the left. And motion the receiver Sapulio to the far, but prior to the snap, whistles and a flag on the play. On that Upper St. Clair side of the scrimmage, I think that's going to be a false start against the Panthers.
And that's a little bit of a chink in this excellent offensive drive to start this second half. It was keyed by the 38-yard gain on the first play of the second half by Burton. They've gotten good runs now from Burton, Kadar, McClendon. Ideally, they'd love to have Visman in this backfield, but obviously they have a lot of depth.
And now they'll come out facing a 1st and 15 from the 17. Football right between the hashes. McClendon the deep back, Burton the up back. Play action fake here, Hansberry to throw. Sets up, has time, fires near side, and it is knocked away. Intended receiver at about the 3-yard line was Kissinger. I thought maybe Burton would have a chance on the deflection to pick that ball out of the sky, but he could not. It'll fall incomplete. 2nd down and 15 from the 17. We're seeing a lot of different guys in that backfield. Jim Render with a lot of confidence in that core skill group, if you will. Kissinger wide to the far boundary. Kyle wide to the near boundary. Burton the lone setback. He's the sidecar for Hansberry. A little quarterback keeper, Hansberry, and he is not fooling anybody. Hit initially, and then finally dropped by Connor Keenan.
Well, it was almost as if North Hills knew what was coming that time. Hansberry had no intention of throwing that football. He sold it fairly well, kind of took a step back, looked downfield, but then as he tucked it, he found a lot of North Hills Indians pursuing him. He was able to only get back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, big play here for North Hills. If the Indians can come up with a stop defensively, would give them maybe some momentum. They trail it by a touchdown. Hansberry in the gun. Sidecar is Kadar. Hansberry to throw. Fires down near the end zone. Tip nearly intercepted. Intended receiver was Sapulio. And then in and out of the hands of Hay. Off the hands of Melvin Blanks right at the goal line for the North Hills Indians, who had a crack at it, but it finally falls incomplete. And Howard will come on to attempt a field goal to try to extend this 7-point lead for the Upper St. Clair Panthers, regardless of how he does on this field goal. Good job by North Hills to really stiffen on this opening drive in period number 3.
That was, and they needed it. They couldn't go down 2 touchdowns. They need to stay within 10.
This would be a 33-yarder, and it's going to be partially blocked. Loose football is going to be picked up by Blanks. He's running down the far sideline, still on his feet, out over the 30 to the 35, 36-yard line. Upper St. Clair will get nothing after the big Burton run sets him up deep in North Hills territory. The Indians, off the partially blocked field goal, will get great field position. And a heads-up play by Melvin Blanks to pick up that ball after it was blocked and return it up the far sideline. The Indians in business, 1st and 10 at their own 36. Trailing by just a touchdown. It's 14-7 Upper St. Clair.
Big dodging of a bullet that time for the North Hills Indians. And we'll see how they come out on this offensive drive. That might give them a little bit of momentum here.
Santucci, the lone setback. And they'll motion the receiver to the near side, Brandon, who takes the end-around handoff, and he's got a 1st down and more all the way out near the midfield stripe, marking down at the North Hills 49. But a gain of 13 on 1st and 10 for Brennan on the jet sweep handoff. And indeed, it does look good for some momentum, Steve.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more teams running the jet sweep in the WPIAL. Almost everybody does it every week, and it's a hard play to defend. If you're not ready for it, defensive ends have to be ready to come up the football field, kind of disrupt that play. If they don't, it's got a chance to be a big play for teams.
Rosansky in the slot to the near boundary. 1st and 10 from the 49. Now he will motion toward the formation. Hurt, trouble with the snap. Flushed out of the pocket. Loses the football as he's going backwards. It's picked up. Eli Grape going the other way with the football still on his feet. He's inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. A huge play. And a big mistake by Hurt, Steve. Just take the sack. Take the ball and go down. Instead, in an effort to extend the play, he has it poked away. Grape picks it up and returns it all the way to the 22, 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Well, another big opportunistic play defensively for Upper St. Clair. They get the turnover. You're exactly right. I think Hurt was trying to get out of the tackle box, maybe to throw that ball away. But he should have just fallen on that football as he turns it over. Eli Grape, who else? It was kind of fitting that he fell on that football and took it the other way because he has had a terrific game so far.
Timeout for Pat Carey and company. 1st and 10 from the 21 for Upper St. Clair. When we come back, you're listening to WPIAL Football 2016, brought to you by Progress. 1st and Turf, only on the MSA Sports Network.
Log on every Wednesday night at 7 for the latest high school football news during this week in the WPIAL here on the MSA Sports Network. Join Don Rebel and other members of the MSA sports team as they visit with WPIAL football coaches, plus they run down the upcoming schedule and preview the weekend's top high school football games. That's this week in the WPIAL, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. this fall, only on the MSA Sports Network.
Back at Upper St. Clair alongside Steve Nagler. 14-7 Upper St. Clair on top. The Panthers look for a little more, as they have the football after another North Hills turnover. 14-7 at the Indian 21-yard line. Football on the far hash for Jim Render's Upper St. Clair Panthers. Elan Grape, a tremendous evening defensively. He recovered the hurt fumble and returned it upfield. The big fella looking strong running the football as well.
They had him by the ankle, and only one ankle, and he was trying like heck. It was like a bear trying to get out of a trap.
Here come the Panthers straight out over the football. Wide to the near boundary will come Kissinger. Sapulio on the slot near side. Now Felino will go in motion to the far boundary, and they'll give it to Kadar, and he'll try the left side. Tough sledding there. Gets one, maybe two, inside the 20 to the 19. Sets up a second down and 8. Good job in the interior of that defense by Mertezi for the North Hills Indians, along with, as always, Ben Walter.
Well, the quartet of Burton, Kadar, McClendon, and Sapulio have done a good job in Visman's stead. I'll give you those numbers here after this play.
They will line up with 3 receivers to the near boundary. Sapulio in the slot here. Jackson Geisler wide to the near boundary. Felino again goes in motion. Kadar again takes that handoff. Really looked like the same play and about the same result, although maybe less yardage. Just give him one more. Set up a third down and 7. Good defense that time. Bryce Walker there, along with Zale Apodaca, one of the best names in the WPIAL, and he had a great year last year for the Indians, and he has shown up in a big way here tonight again. Apodaca, a part of that tackle, and again, North Hills looking for a huge defensive stand to keep Upper St. Clair out of the end zone as they are deep in Indian territory. Geisler wide to the near boundary. Kyle in the slot near side. 2 receivers to the far. Kadar the sidecar for Hansberry on 3rd and 7. Kadar straight ahead to the 15 and leaning forward to about the 14-yard line. He's going to be well shy of the lead stick, 4th down. And we'll see if the Panthers attempt a field goal or go for it right here, Steve Nagler.
Well, they got enough on that 3rd down play that it certainly tempts head coach Jim Render on maybe going for it on 4th down.
Inside 5.5 minutes to play. And he'll take a timeout. They want to talk it over. 5:28 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Upper St. Clair 14, North Hills 7. You're listening to WPIAL Football 2016, brought to you by Progress, First and Turf on the MSA Sports Network.
MSA Sports broadcasts are now available on both Android and iOS devices. Just navigate to the game of your choice, and on your mobile device, press the arrow or play button. It's that easy. No app needed. No matter where you are, MSA Sports content is available at your fingertips via your iPad, Android phone, iPod, and iPhone. Anytime, anywhere, always there. The MSA Sports Network.
Back at Upper St. Clair. Out of the timeout. Let's see. I think the Panthers are going to go for it. 4th and about 3 from the 14. They have to get right to the 11. They will indeed line up to go for this and eschew the field goal that went awry last time. Hansberry in the pistol. Sidecar is Kadar. 3 receivers to this near boundary. Huge play in the football game right here. Motion to Sulio. Hansberry flushed. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Man, oh man, the Indians brought the house, Steve Nagler. Great job by Walker getting there, bringing some pressure, along with number 71, Ben Spriggs.
And Gillespie was in the backfield as well. He's down. Yeah. It looks like he might be battling a cramp. He was the first one to put the heat on quarterback Jack Hansberry. Hansberry was able to get out of the grasp of Gillespie, but the pressure too much as he was trying to roll to his right. It looked like it was going to be kind of a run-pass option, but because of the good pressure by the North Hills Indians, he had to throw it downfield in hopes that he could find a target, but too much pressure.
And the Indians indeed do come up with a second huge stop to keep it a one-score football game. 5:22 to play in the third. The Panthers have had opportunity here in quarter number 3, but no points to show for it. North Hill still very much in it, trailing by a touchdown with 5:22 to play in the third. It does indeed appear to be a cramping Gillespie at the 26-yard line. They'll stretch out that left hammy.
Well, it really feels like Upper St. Clair is in firm command of this football game, and yet it's only a 7-point deficit for North Hills. That's something that they got to feel at least somewhat good about. They have bent but have not broken in these first 2 drives for Upper St. Clair.
Yeah, got to be delighted by the response of their defense, and they had some momentum offensively in their last drive until the turnover. They were moving the football through the ground and the air prior to turning it over. They were up around midfield. And Gillespie not sure that is necessarily cramping right now. They're looking at that left knee.
And I remind you that coming up after the game, it's the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show with Don Rebel and a cast of thousands from the MSA Sports Control Center. All the scores from Week 1 of the 2016 WPIAL football season, plus Mike Azadian and Brandon Showers join Don on the round table. Don't miss the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show after the game, only here on the MSA Sports Network.
And Gillespie able to get up and walk off under his own power coming back to the near sideline. But
he looks still cramped up big time.
He's got a hitch in the giddy up for sure as he comes over here.
Tough kid.
McKeesport 14, Franklin Regional 0. A couple of updates for you. Newcastle Roland Montour, you mentioned that earlier, Steve. Here come the Indians out of the huddle. Pirates and Mount Lebanon still tied at 14 apiece. Hurt with a sidecar, Santucci, 2 receivers to the far boundary. 1 to the near. Santucci would take the handoff and try to come to this near sideline. Bounces it outside at the 17, now up over the 20, still on his feet, gang tackled by McClendon and company out at about the 22-yard line. They will continue to roll the clock, and now another injured North Hill Indian on the football field.
Well, there's a couple of instances in that run, Sam, where I thought Santucci was going to have an opportunity to cut that ball back up the football field. He didn't. I thought it was the wrong move, and it wasn't. He was smarter than I was as he just kind of strung it out, kind of allowing that play to continue to develop towards the near sideline, and he was able to get 8 on first down.
Well, as we were used to seeing, although it's not a particularly warm day in terms of how it's been the last couple of weeks, it was actually a very delightful evening in terms of sitting around. Maybe a little bit warm for playing football. We have Gillespie stretching out that left hammy down here, and big offensive lineman Ben Spriggs going to get off and be able to jog off to the near sideline under his own power after he had some cramping, and a win there for Santucci on first down. Sets up a 2nd down and 2. Football out, nose of the football right at the 23-yard line. Santucci, the deep back. Hurt has a sidecar. 2 receivers to the far boundary. Now they will motion the fullback out, give it to Santucci. He'll follow that lead block and bang his way forward. First down out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Good tough running that time from Santucci. He can do it both ways, Steve. He can juke you, but when he has to, he can get the extra yard just with sheer force.
Yeah, that's why I like him so much. He is really a very versatile back in that way. We talked about the fact that he's not a real big guy, 170 pounds, not real tall, but as tough as they come.
2 receivers to the far, and Brennan and Walker. Hurt will give it to Santucci one more time. This time hole on the left side. Out over the 30, 35. He's got another 8-yard run on first down, and this time a nice hole produced by the left side of that North Hills Indian offensive line.
17 carries, 73 yards now for Santucci. that sterling touchdown catch in the first half. Been a pretty nice evening for the young man.
Sets up a 2nd down and 2. Walker and Brennan again to the far boundary. Santucci now a sidecar to the right of Hurt, who sends a hand signal to the receiver on the floor. 2nd down, 2. Waits for the snap. Tight into the near boundary. Hurt to throw. Sets up, has time. Fires over the middle of the football field. And Walker cannot hang on right at about the midfield stripe. There defensively was Kyle for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. But that's a catch, and I think Bryce Walker will tell you he's got to make.
Well, the senior went right through his hands, and you never like going back to the huddle when you've just kind of let your quarterback down. That was a great throw by Will Hurt, right on the numbers, and it went right through the hands of Bryce Walker.
Sets up a 3rd down, 2.
Guarantee you Bryce Walker said, throw it to me.
Right now.
Now.
3rd and 2. But I think they're going to go with Santucci. Indeed they will. Santucci takes the handoff, hit in the backfield, and he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. Burton with the penetration. First touch, and he blew that play up before it could ever get going. Foligno finishes the job at the line of scrimmage. 4th down and 2 for North Hills.
Yeah, Burton from that right inside linebacker position just kind of knifed in and was able to get Santucci to the ground before he was able to get those legs churning. So it's going to result in another North Hills Indians punt.
Bly to punt. Kyle waits for it. He's the lone safety. Again, the bounce snap. This time he keeps the knee off the ground for sure, Steve, and a good kick. And a fair catch is called for by Kyle at the 35-yard line. Heads-up play that time by Bly. Almost a mirror image of what happened the first time. This time you could see him think about keeping his knee off the turf.
I watched Bly in pregame a little bit. I was down on the field trying to get some pictures for the site, and they were having all kinds of problems with the snap. I saw one go about 5 feet over his head. There's a couple more in the dirt, and there's been 2 in the so-called dirt in the turf here tonight. That time Bly doing a really good job of keeping that knee off the ground.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. At their own 35, Kadar takes the handoff and bangs out to the 40 before he's wrapped up by Santucci and company. Also there defensively, Apodaca. And a gain of 5 for Kadar, sets up a 2nd down and 5.
Kadar, Burton, Sapulio, and McClendon have really filled in nicely for the loss of Tom Visman. The foursome has carried the ball for 99 yards.
In relief, the bullpen, if you will, for Jim Render, doing a nice job in that backfield. We still are not aware of what has happened with Tommy Visman. I'll take the tight end, slide him to the far end of the formation. Deep back here is Kadar. Jab stack. Now he'll take the quick hitter for Burton again up the middle. Burton on the run, and Burton almost a mirror image of the play that started the second half. And he is again into North Hills Indian territory, this time dropped at the 36-yard line.
Talked to Matt Mellinger, who's up here in the booth. He said that Visman's out with a slight strain of the MCL. He didn't think it was all that scary, but when you hear MCL,
you got to be cautionary.
Yep. So he said that if it was later in the year, maybe a bigger game, that he felt like he might have continued to play or tried to. But
this time the second back through was Connor McClendon, and McClendon on 1st and 10 from the North Hills 36 will get down to about the 31, a gain of 5. So twice in this game we've seen that quick hitter to the fullback, Merton, work very neatly. 2nd down and 5. The Panthers grinding it out right now, leading 14-7 with 1:20 to play in the third quarter in the Progress First and Turf game of the week on the MSA Sports Network. 2nd down and a long 5. Burton the up back. 2 receivers near. Toss it to McClendon, who cuts it up immediately. He's got the first down and more. McClendon inside the 20 to the 15. Connor McClendon with some jets and a nice little jab step move as he took the toss in the backfield. And a behind the lead block from Burton. He is all the way down to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10, Upper St. Clair.
And right now, Sam, you have to tip the cap to the offensive line of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Again, the loss of Visman is generally going to be huge, but they are blowing holes in this tiring North Hills defensive front.
Hansberry under center. And he will turn, toss to McClendon, trying the far side. And forced back up inside. He'll be spun down, get one. And actually, they'll say no, he didn't get any. Stopped right at the 15. Good job that time by the defense for the North Hills Indians.
Well, the Indians, again, for the 3rd straight drive, find themselves with their back to their goal line and have to figure a way to keep Upper St. Clair out of the end zone. That's going to be the last play in this 3rd quarter.
They do not have to snap it again. Credit Walker and Walters with the tackle. That is the final play of period number 3. 14-7, Panthers on top. 2nd and 10 from the North Hills 15 when we come back. You're listening to and watching the Progress First and Turf Game of the Week only on the MSA Sports Network.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com. Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
When looking to replace your athletic field, choose ProGrass, First in Turf. ProGrass has installed over 500 fields in the U.S. Getting the best artificial turf for your field depends on both the product and the partner you choose. That's why architects, athletic directors, and players choose the ProGrass Performance System. ProGrass maintains an active presence in the synthetic turf industry as members of the Sports Turf Management Association and the American Sports Builder Association, and is proud to be recognized as the FIFA preferred manufacturer. Call ProGrass today, 866-270-6003, or visit them on the web at www.progressturf.com. ProGrass, First in Turf.
Back at Upper St. Clair alongside Steve Nagler as we get set to start the final 12 minutes of regulation. 14-7, the Upper St. Clair Panthers on top of the North Hills Indians. Upper St. Clair threatening 2nd down and 10 at the North Hills 15-yard line. The Panthers playing, I'd say, almost the entire 2nd quarter and all of this 3rd quarter, and appears all the rest of this football game without their star running back, Tom Visman. They have had, this be their 3rd opportunity of the 2nd half inside the red zone of the North Hills Indians. They have 0 points to show for it so far, as they get set to start period number 4 in the Progress First in Turf Game of the Week. This game brought to you by our good friends at Progress, proud sponsor of all sports on the MSA Sports Network. The Indians waiting on the Panthers. The Panthers are going to come straight out over the football here, maybe.
Tom Render knows a thing or two about buying a little bit of extra time for his offense, and that's what he's done here between quarters.
Now they will huddle.
Who's going to tell Tom Render not to take a little extra time with their offense? That's
not me.
It's not going to be me, and that doesn't appear to be any of the striped officials on the football field either.
Kadar dots the I, Foligno the up back as they do come out over the football now on 2nd and 10 from the 15. Slide the tight end to the near boundary. One toward each. Hansberry turns. Second back through with Kadar. Breaks the tackle. Inside the 5. Diving for the end zone. Is he in? Touchdown, Upper St. Clair. Kadar from 15 yards out. And the Panthers extend the lead to 20-7 with 11:52 to play in the 4th.
Well, what a run by Kadar. Just another gutty run by one of the Upper St. Clair backs. He was met with some resistance around the 3-yard line. He kind of spun out of that tackle and just reached for the end zone. He was able to get there 8 seconds into this fourth quarter.
Jeff Howard on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Jackson Geisler. Gets that snap down. The kick is up. The kick is good. And it's 21-7. Upper St. Clair on top with 11:52 to play in regulation. You're listening to WPIAL Football, the Progress First and Turf Game of the Week. Audio and video only on the MSA Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Back at Upper St. Clair. I think I'm missing a Carlo as you jump around. We owe the good folks at Carlo in there at one point. At Progress, First and Turf Game of the Week on the MSA Sports Network. 21-7, Blake Kadar. A 15-yard touchdown run, the latest score in this football game, the only score so far of the second half. It's a North Hills club that really has got to get back to when we saw their only touchdown drive of the game. We talked about it during that drive, Steve. It was about rhythm, and they have just been out of sorts since then.
It's been the only drive where they've been rhythmic in the way they've kind of run plays. They looked very confident on that response to the first touchdown scored by Upper St. Clair. Since then, not quite as much. It's not that they haven't had some level of success in terms of Santucci running the football, but they just haven't been able to sustain it and have a long drive.
Santucci to the near, Brennan to the far. Both of them inside their own 5-yard line. Howard, the left footer, on the run up for the Panthers to kick it away, leading 21-7. And he will shank that one off the side of his foot out of bounds to the far sideline. And North Hills will take that ball out at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians, trailing 21-7.
The time is now for the North Hills Indians. They have plenty of time, still 11:52 to go in this football game. But they have just a limited number of possessions that they have left. 2, maybe 3, which means they're going to have to be perfect over the last nearly 12 minutes of this football game.
Well, they have not shown themselves to be a quick strike offense. The one scoring drive that they have in the game was very time-consuming, although I think that was a little bit on purpose. Hurt in the gun. Brennan to the near boundary. Play action fake. Hurt to throw. Far side. The intended receiver was Walker out at about the 46. With that pass wide of the mark into the Upper St. Clair bench will set up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, maybe the first pass that we've seen from Hurt that was not very good. He's thrown a couple of balls away on purpose just to save a sack and yardage. That time looked like he had Bryce Walker on that far sideline, but just threw it, just kind of pulled that pass a little bit to his left.
Football remains on the far hash. Both Brennan and Walker come to the near boundary. Santucci, the deep back in the eye. Now he'll motion out of the formation. Hurt. It's going to be swarmed over. And coming in really untouched off the near edge, rushing the quarterback was Dom Sapulio. And he is going to sack Hurt all the way back at the 26-yard line.
That's a loss of 9. That is a big loss. There's probably not a whole lot of plays in the North Hills playbook to settle a 3rd and 19. That's exactly where they find themselves now with just about 11:15 to go on a turning clock.
Especially trailing by a pair of touchdowns. Hurt back in the gun. 3 receivers to the near boundary. On 3rd and 19. Straight drop, trying to set up a little backside screen here. Getting a block, and they will get the block and running with the football. 1st down and more. Into Upper St. Clair territory, running with the football is Ben Walters. And Walters is all the way on the backside screen. Work to perfection. And they will mark him down at the Upper St. Clair 38-yard line.
31 yards on that 3rd and 19. It was a really well-developed play. North Hills sent trips out to the right. Everybody in this football stadium thought they were going to throw the football to the right. They did not. They threw it back to Ben Walter, and Walter went down the left side, got some good blocking.
3 receivers to the near. On 1st and 10 from the Panther 38-yard line for North Hills, trying to get back in the football game. Hurt flushed out of the pocket, comes to the near sideline, looking downfield, fires downfield. He's got Walker, catches made inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. And that's going to be another North Hills Indian first down.
Well, nice job by Will Hurt, feeling the pressure from his backside, rolling to his right, buying a little bit of time. It allowed Bryce Walker to come back to that football. A nice pitch and catch by Hurt to Walker as he was able to straddle that sideline. 11 yards on that pass play.
Walker now to the far boundary. That's his first catch of the football game?
No, I believe he's caught one other pass.
Sidecar here for Hurt on 1st and 10. Prior to the snap, whistles, flags. I don't know whether they went in motion or nobody covered up the tackle on that far side. So 1st and 10 will become 1st and 15 with 10:21 to play.
Now the good news is that came on 1st down. They have 4 downs to get the first down, but boy, you never want to kind of get in the way of some success that you've had by incurring a penalty.
Getting behind the sticks, as they say. 1st and 15 from the 32. Football on the near hash. Tight end Hodnick to the far boundary. 2 receivers to the near, a pair of sidecars. Now they will motion blanks out of the formation to the far. Hurt to throw, and he lost the football. And the Panthers will pick it up. The ball just flat out slipped out of Will Hurt's hand as he drew back to throw. He was going to look down this near sideline. He was looking at Tyler Brennan. But Hurt, as he went to cock the football, just had it far out of his hand, and it's pounced down by Upper St. Clair. The Panthers get another North Hills turnover, and they take over at their own, I should say, 41-yard line.
Yeah, a couple of fumbles by Will Hurt in the second half have really killed this North Hills Indians offense. That time, Hurt saw Brennan streaking past his defender down the right sideline. He just kind of quickly pulled that ball back, tried to throw it quickly. The ball squirts out of his hand, and Upper St. Clair another turnover.
Now Santucci was not in there in those last couple of plays offensively. False start here against Upper St. Clair. And running before the snap was Sapulio. Looked like he was playing Canadian League football there, Steve Nagler.
Upper St. Clair now with a 2-score lead, 21-7, with 10:14 to go in this fourth quarter. You know they're going to want to keep the ball on the ground, have some success moving the sticks and keeping that clock running if they can.
March the football back to the Upper St. Clair 36-yard line. It remains on the near hash. 10:14 to play in period number 4. Each club with a pair of timeouts remaining. Kadar, the deep back, behind Hansberry in the pistol. And we're going to get Jim Render taking another timeout. So he'll be down to 1 timeout, leading 21-7 with 10:14 to play. You're listening to WPIAL Football, the Progress First and Turf Game of the Week right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Life is about having the confidence to know you can do anything right. I get that at Carlo.
I graduated with top awards, but beyond the classroom, Carlo helped me learn a lot about myself.
Carlo brings out the best in you.
I know I'm going to be a fantastic nurse.
I know whatever I come across, I'll be prepared.
I can't think of a better place to start the rest of my life, because at Carlo, I know I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Enroll at Carlo University. Visit carlo.edu.
Back at Upper St. Clair, 21-7 Panthers on top of the Indians. Upper St. Clair with the football, 1st and 15 at their own 36-yard line.
Steve Nagler alongside Jess Levo upstairs on a perfect night for WPIAL Week 1 all around. Don't forget, when we're done here, Don Rebel and the Scoreboard Show from the plush brand spanking new world headquarters up in North Hills. We just call that the North Hills?
North Hills, yeah.
Is there a fancy word for that?
No.
Okay, North Hills. Don Rebel and a cast of thousands.
I'm sure there is. I'm not all that familiar with the North Hills, so I'm just going to say no.
I think it's something Gardens or something. I don't know.
Sounds nice.
That does. It's something Gardens. 1st and 15 here. Hansberry in the pistol. Play action fake. He'll roll to the far boundary. Wants to set up and throw. Nice move to get away from a would-be tackler in the backfield. And now he'll sprint for the far sideline. Just get a yard before he's tripped up.
and he's got to deal with Jim Render over there, who probably not all that happy that he scampered out of bounds and stopped the clock.
Bryce Walker on the tackle. Indeed does stop the clock with 10:02 remaining in regulation, and Upper St. Clair leading by 14.
You could see it. As I was watching the play, I could see Hansberry getting closer and closer to that far sideline, and his body stopped like, oh no, I'm going to get in big trouble, and he couldn't stop his body momentum from going out of bounds.
I told my legs, do not go out of bounds. They would not listen. High formation behind him here, and this is Burton up the gut on that quick hitter. This time the Indians see it coming, and they do stop it after a couple of monster gains from Burton on that quick hitter. He'll get a yard, maybe 2. He's out near the 40, but 3rd and long now, the situation that the Panthers find them in. You're going to credit North Hills. I mean, there's still a lot of time left in this football game, but the Indians have been behind the 8 ball from a defensive standpoint a number of times in this football game. The fact that it's still just a 2-score game is a big-time credit to Pat Carey's club and the job they've done on the defensive side. Kadar the sidecar, 3 receivers to the far boundary, low snap, and then just falling out, it'll be Hansberry, and it's going to be punt time for Upper St. Clair. So once again, the Indians, this time with maybe the benefit of an Upper St. Clair mistake, the Indians stand tall, and Upper St. Clair will have to punt it away from their own 35.
Well, this game, to your point, Sam, this game could very easily be 31-7 right now if it hadn't been for a couple of North Hills Indians stops defensively early on in that 3rd quarter. They still have time. Plus, they have 2 timeouts left.
Sapulio to punt. He gets a good one away. And it's going to be taken on the near side by Santucci at the 33. Up over the 40 to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. The Indians with good field position, trying to stop from making the mistakes, really, that have plagued them offensively in this football game. Put it on the turf a couple of times, took a knee one time trying to punt it. And they'll have the football at their own 43, near hash, 1st and 10. Rosansky, the tight end, checks in, hurt to the huddle. And they'll come out over the football, 1st and 10. Rosansky now is going to go wide to the far boundary. 3 receivers over there, including Santucci in the slot far side. Walters is the sidecar, takes the handoff, bangs his way forward for about 4. Out over the 40 to the 41.
I believe that's the first carry we've seen from Ben Walter.
There's an S on the end of his name. I know it's not on the roster, but it is Walters.
So Walters very instrumental on that 3rd and long in the last possession. Finally gets his first run of this football game.
Trips to the far boundary on 2nd down and a long 6. Hurt fires near side. Never got the nose of the football up, trying to get it to Walker at about the 48-yard line of Upper St. Clair. Flag on the play at the same 48-yard line. The officials will talk it over.
It looks like it's an ineligible man down the football field. So one of the offensive linemen got 5 yards downfield. Can't believe that that's the case. That had to be an offensive lineman that had
lightning jets.
Well, it had to be a lineman that thought
it was a run play.
A run play, absolutely.
Well, a 5-yard penalty. Jim Render will take the penalty. I thought maybe he might elect to decline that penalty.
Well, I think when you're up 14 points, you just push them back every chance you get.
Push them back, way
back.
That's what Steve Nagler says. Call it 2nd and 12 from the 41. Hurt in the gun. Rolls to the far. Pressure comes. Now he's in trouble. Trying to run away. And fires it out in the direction of Walker's. He was being swarmed over by Hoy and company. And he did a nice job that time to throw it away.
I wasn't sure if he was quite outside of the tackle box when he let go of it, but he was.
Good job by Walker to hustle back towards that football.
Yeah, he sold it basically, so it wasn't an intentional grounding.
So now it's 3rd and 12 from the 41. Walker to the near boundary. Rosansky to the far. Brennan in the slot to the far boundary. Santucci split that way as well. Hurt to throw. Looking right over the middle of the football field, trying to get Santucci on the fly, but he overthrows him. At about the 27-yard line of Upper St. Clair, the Indians will be forced to punt. 7:47 remaining in regulation. That was not a pretty offensive possession for the North Hills Indians.
It was not. That time, Gabe Hoy, the outstanding offensive and defensive lineman, his 6'7" frame right in the grill of 6'3" Will Hurt.
Snap is good. Bly will get this one away. A nice high spiraling kick. Fair catch called for by Kyle at the 31-yard line of the Upper St. Clair Panthers, and that's where they'll take over, leading by 14. 21-7 with 7:40 to play in regulation. Football closer to the near hash as the Panthers come out of the huddle. Hansberry under center. A little crab walk. Burton behind the play. A little end around handoff coming here. This is Sapulio, and he's into the open field. He's got out to the 40 and then spun down as he goes over the 42 to the 43-yard line. And a first down run for Dom Sapulio.
Yeah, almost like a little scissors play there, kind of a inside-out type of handoff. Sapulio, his second rushing attempt of this football game, and a good one. Got 12 yards on first down.
We get inside 7.5 to play in regulation. Burton the up back again. Kadar the deep back. This time in the straight eye behind Hansberry. Second back through is Kadar. Tough sledding there. And he will just get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe half a yard. Good job submarining down low there for the North Hills Indians by Mertezi.
I talked about the 4 running backs that have come on in place of Tom Visman. They would have gotten some carries anyway, but Burton 6 carries, 80 yards. Kadar 11 carries, 53 yards. Really good work by those 2 young men.
Khalil Jackson wide to the far boundary. Kadar takes the handoff here and goes straight ahead. And he'll get to the midfield stripe and further into North Hills territory at the 49-yard line. About a yard, maybe 2 yards shy of the lead stick. Set up a 3rd down and 2 for the Panthers as the clock continues to roll. Now down to 6:15 to play in regulation. 21-7, Upper St. Clair on top.
Tough running inside the tackles by Kadar. Kind of has a very upright running style, a little bit different than what we saw from Visman. But it works for him.
3rd down 2, mark it right at the 49 and mark it right on top of that far hash. Foligno in. He's to the near. And the deep back is handed off to McClendon, and McClendon's got the first down and a couple more. He's down to the 45-yard line as he followed that lead block. And a big one again by Dom Foligno. But the Panthers now, you said it, Steve, I think earlier
on that last touchdown drive for Upper St. Clair. It was a short field, but you can see fatigue becoming a factor for the North Hills Indians defense.
And they're running a lot on that left side behind Pollock and Hoy. And that time, those two young men just kind of knocked back the right side of the formation of North Hills.
McClendon again will follow the block of Foligno, but this time he will run right into the waiting arms of Ben Walters, who stops him for a loss of 1 on 1st and 10.
Walters is a stud.
Mm-hmm.
He is a big, big boy. He's listed. His listing on this roster has to be from a couple of years ago. They have him listed 6'1", 175.
Apparently he refuses to go anywhere near a scale.
Right. He's every bit of 215, 225 for sure.
2nd and 11 now for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Again, McClendon remains the deep back. This time Burton, the up back. And they will motion Sepulio to the near. Give it to Burton on that quick hitter. And he's not getting much, a yard, maybe 2. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, and then inside the 35 to the 34. Sets up a 3rd down and 9, but for Jim Render, they have chewed up about 3 minutes of clock on this drive, and that's all he wants to do, Steve Nagler.
Yeah, he really has taken some time off this clock. Boy, I was watching Ben Walters again from his left inside linebacker position. He took on a block and was very instrumental in making the tackle. He got up a little gingerly, but another nice play by Walters.
He hasn't been at 175 maybe since the 8th grade. This must be the junior high roster.
Yeah, could be.
Kyle will go in motion to the far, now come back to the near. Blitz comes, but Kadar able to take the handoff, get around the blitzing defender, and he will only get a couple. 4th down and long coming up for Upper St. Clair. Timeout called by Pat Carey.
And a good timeout by Carey. Didn't want the full 25-second play clock to come off, the full 25 seconds to come off the game clock, so he takes a timeout.
We'll keep it here on the MSA Sports Network. Remind you that UPMC Sports Medicine is partnering with MSA Sports this year for their Stay Strong and Play On program. It features monthly spotlights on athletes who have overcome injury and continue to pursue and excel at their sport. UPMC will be granting 2 $1,000 scholarships at the end of the year to athletes who have managed to stay strong and play on. Look for more details soon at www.msasports.net. 21-7 Upper St. Clair. 3:40 to play. The Indians about to get the football back. But now they need a big play, Steve Nick.
Yeah, they really do. Maybe get a return, maybe block a punt. You never know what might turn this football game around, but they need something, because if not, they're looking at a long field and still needing 2 touchdowns. Only 3:40 to go in this football game.
See if they come after it. Sepulio waits for the snap at his own 47. They do come a little bit, but he gets it away with a pretty solid kick. Santucci will let it bounce into the end zone for the touchback. 1st and 10, North Hills at their own 20-yard line as they work from left to right. Don't forget, for updated scores every Friday night, check out MSA Sports on your mobile device, m.scores.msasports.net. .5A Allegheny 9 action for Week 1 WPIAL Football 2016. Waiting in the wings, Mike Azadian on the round table tonight, along with Brandon Shires. Walker to the near boundary, Brennan to the slot near side. Santucci, the deep back. They'll toss it to him. Halfback option. He wants to throw the football. That is sniffed out by the entire Upper St. Clair secondary and then intercepted by Kissinger. Here he goes back the other way to the 40. Kissinger 35, still on his feet at the 30, and finally dragged down. It was 5-on-1 coverage, and Santucci said, I'm throwing it up for my guy.
Yeah, probably not the best time to throw that pass. You got to figure Upper St. Clair is in a prevent defense. That's exactly what they were in, and you spoke about it, and you saw it on the video, folks. There were 5, count them, Upper St. Clair defensive backs that were in that defensive backfield, awaiting that pass by Santucci. Should have pulled it down and tried to run the football. He didn't. Turns the ball over.
Turnovers have killed the North Hills Indians here tonight. They have shown themselves, I think, to be a fairly respectable football team. Hansberry will hand it off to Kadar. Tough sledding here. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard. He's not quite to the 30-yard line. But North Hills is going to have to recover, I think, from a Week 1 loss here. Even their overall record at 1-1, but dropped them to 0-1 in the conference. But a lot of positive comes out of this football game tonight for the North Hills Indians as well. McClendon, the deep back now. The up back, Burton, in the broken eye. Hansberry under center. Now he'll slide the tight end to the near boundary. Kyle split wide to the near. Second back through is McClendon, and he is hit. Good job to Nate through there, but Jared Rosansky came in all alone and wrapped up McClendon, who tried to jump out of the way. Loss of 1. 3rd down 10.
North Hills has to get a stop here. Also probably looking to maybe hold up the running back, maybe strip the ball carrier in some way or fashion now that this game clock is under 2 minutes.
150 on that rolling clock. McClendon again, the deep back. Burton, the up back. 3rd and 10. Hansberry to throw. It's a little surprise. This is on Jim Render-like. He'll throw it into the end zone. Geisler, did he hold on? Still no signal. Yes, Jackson Geisler hauls it in for the touchdown. Oh, man-to-man coverage out there, and Santucci was right with him, but a perfect throw by Hansberry, and Geisler hangs on for 6.
And I love the play call. Jimmy Render probably thinking what I was thinking, and that North Hills was going to commit a lot of players to the line of scrimmage. That left one-on-one coverage for Geisler. Again, just a skinny post towards the end zone and a 31-yard touchdown pass from Hansberry.
Howard on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Geisler, the kick is up, the kick is good. 28-7, Upper St. Clair on top with 96 seconds remaining in regulation. We'll just keep it here, Steve. We're pretty much all caught up locally. An impressive throw that time from Hansberry. We talked about it a number of times tonight. He's made some really, really nice throws. This time it finally pays off.
Yeah, two big completions. He's only had 2. One for 35 yards in the first half. That time, 31 yards. A very well-thrown ball to Jackson Geisler. And Geisler was able to hang on despite pretty good one-on-one coverage in that North Hills secondary. But another good throw by Hansberry and a very good catch by Geisler.
And the Panthers will get set to kick this football away, leading now by 3 touchdowns, 28-7. If you're a North Hills Indian, when you go home and lay your head on the pillow tonight, the thing that will haunt you is turnovers.
Yeah, 3 second-half turnovers and been a killer.
And you throw in the
punt.
The knee on the low snap of the punt that led to an immediate Upper St. Clair touchdown. Howard on the run-up. Santucci back deep to the near. He's not going to get this ball. This will be taken on the far side. And running up over the 30, still on his feet, bouncing it to the far sideline, running with the football. Tyler Brennan, he's going to get all the way into Upper St. Clair territory at the 46-yard line. Tyler Brennan, great job to find the edge, gets a block out there, and he's put the North Hills Indians in business, but it might be too little too late.
Yeah, a great return by Brennan, and then he collided with somebody on the Upper St. Clair sidelines and kind of came up a little bit lame from that collision, but I thought he's going to stay in this football game.
1st and 10 for North Hills from the Upper St. Clair 46. 86 seconds to play. Rosansky to the near boundary. 2 receivers to the far. For Hurt, wants to throw, and he will throw to Santucci. I think just a matter of exhaustion right there for Nick Santucci. He's trying to make a move, and his legs are just like, I can't do it. The gain will end up being about 3, set up a second down 7. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Santucci is the intended receiver again. And this time he'll make the catch at the 40, give ground. Another gain of 1. Burton on the tackle defensively for Upper St. Clair. But we're inside a minute to play. Clock continues to roll. As we get down there, half a minute. Hurt back in the gun. 3rd down. He'll roll to the near boundary. Fires. And looking for Santucci out here. Just wide of him to the near sideline. With 24 and a half seconds remaining, it'll bring up 4th down for the North Hills Indians. And it is a noticeably tired North Hills Indian Club. Fairly big school, North Hills, but as you look at the near sideline.
Yeah, for a 5A school, it's not a
whole lot of numbers.
No.
And a whole bunch of these guys going both ways. A long night here at Upper St. Clair. .23. This will be Blanks taking the handoff. Blanks into the open field. Blanks with some fresh legs to the 30. 25. Blanks spun down at the 24-yard line. He's got a 1st down for the North Hills Indians. That'll stop the clock to move the sticks with 13 seconds remaining. And a timeout will be called by Pat Carey. I like this move right here. Not going to win this football game.
Yeah,
but let's give ourselves a chance to see what we would do in this situation.
Sure.
Should it matter.
I totally agree. You're down 21 points. You're not going to really impact the final score of this football game, but why not give your offense one more rep?
Don't forget, when we're done, a quick little post-game show by us, and then the round table. After the scoreboard show, Don Rebel and a cast of thousands from the MSA Sports Control Center. Then Mike Azadian and Brandon Showers on the round table. Also remind you, we want to see your game day smiles. On our website, go to the Gamer broadcast page for the game that you're at. Select the Add a Photo option in the upper right-hand portion of the screen. Browse to the photo you want to upload. Your photo may then appear as one of our spotlight photos on our homepage. Or simply tag your Instagram photos with @MSA Sports and follow the MSA Sports Instagram account. Hurt with 13 and a half seconds to play out of the timeout. He's got 2 receivers near. Now he will motion Brennan to the far boundary, and he wants to throw. Looking near for Walker. Went inside. He threw it outside. It's going to be intercepted by Tom Kyle in the end zone. With 6.5 seconds to play. That was actually a very nice catch by Tom Kyle.
Yeah, it was. Made a good adjustment on that football as he saw it in the air. Kind of went back and was able to run under it in his own end zone and make the interception.
So the Panthers will take over. They'll take a knee, and that'll do it. 6.5 seconds remaining. And it's going to be a 28-7 win for the Upper St. Clair Panthers on their brand new surface. And in their brand new conference, in a brand new 2016 season, more of the same for Jim Render-led football teams. Win number 385 for Jim Render in his 38th year at the helm of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. We'll come back with a post-game show. You're listening to and watching the Progress First and Turf Game of the Week right here on the MSA Sports Network.
Monticello's Italian Restaurant has been serving the Pittsburgh community for over 34 years. With over 5 northern locations, there is one near you. Monticello's has been named the best pizza, best hoagies, and best Italian restaurant by the Tribune Review for 3 years in a row. Stop in at Monticello's restaurant before or after your high school football game and mention that you heard us on the MSA Sports Network and receive a large traditional cheese pizza and 4 soft drinks for $12.99. For the complete menu and additional information, go to Monticellos.com. Monticello's, a Pittsburgh favorite. Log on every Wednesday night at 7 for the latest high school football news during this week in the WPIAL here on the MSA Sports Network. Join Don Rebel and other members of the MSA Sports team as they WPIAL football coaches, plus they run down the upcoming schedule and preview the weekend's top high school football games. That's This Week in the WPIAL, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. this fall, only on the MSA Sports Network.
Officially Sports is your one-stop shop for all your officiating needs. If you need a shirt, jacket, pants, shoes, whistles, etc., Officially Sports has it all, and they are the sole licensed supplier for the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association. Officially Sports also provides custom bags and apparel to help promote your officials association. Mention this ad and receive free shipping until November 1st. Order online at www.officiallysports.com. Call 1-800-934-4555. That's 1-800-934-4555.
Right now, when you refer a friend to open a new personal or business checking account at First Commonwealth Bank, you can earn a generous cash reward. It doesn't even have to be a friend. Could be a relative. Could be a Bruins fan. Could be that guy over there with the weird hair thing going on. It doesn't matter. Refer anyone to open an account and it will really pay off for you. They'll even get a cash reward themselves, no matter who they root for. First Commonwealth Bank, member FDIC. Learn more at a local branch or visit fcbanking.com.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's WPIAL football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the MSA Sports Scoreboard Show here on the MSA Sports Network. Hi, I'm Don Rebel. Join me in the MSA Sports Gang for all the scores and recaps from the top games, plus the MSA Sports Roundtable. That's the MSA Sports Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the MSA Sports Network and at msasports.net.
Back at Upper St. Clair for the postgame show alongside Steve Nagler. 28-7, your final, a victory for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. That's the good news. The bad news is Tom Visman missed really the bulk of this football game, almost the full 3/4 of this football game, with what appeared to be a leg or knee injury. We don't really have many details, but he is vital to the success of this season for 2016 for Upper St. Clair. That being said, Kadar and company filled in quite nicely, Steve.
Oh, they really did. I came into this football game feeling like this was going to be fairly closely contested, and if you would have told me that Visman was going to get hurt early in the second quarter and not play again, I would have thought that North Hills would have stood a pretty good chance of upsetting Upper St. Clair, but it did not happen, largely because of the offensive line play of the Panthers, largely because of great running backs that they have. Jim Render has behind Thomas Visman, and they were able to kind of grind out this win, partially because of the fact that they were able to get some turnovers on the defensive side of the football. Let's quickly take a look at the scoring and how everything kind of took place. No scoring until late in the first quarter. Upper St. Clair got on the board first. It was a 6-yard touchdown run by Tom Visman. The extra point was good, and at the end of the first quarter, Upper St. Clair had a 7-0 lead over the North Hills Indians. North Hills would respond in kind. They were able to take the football back and go on a long 7-minute-plus drive that was culminated in a 13-yard touchdown pass from Will Hurt to Nick Santucci. What a great play. Hurt, a great pass to the back pylon on the left side of the end zone. Santucci was tangled up with a defender and was able to make a one-handed diving catch, get a foot down to score the touchdown. Extra point was good. 7:59 to go in the second quarter. We had a 7-7 tie. It would stay that way till late in the first half. A stop by Upper St. Clair, and from about the 26-yard line of North Hills, they snapped the football to punt the football away to Upper St. Clair with under 2 minutes to go. It was a low snap. Nate Bly, the punter, had to go to a knee to field the ball, and they blew the ball dead there on the 11-yard line of the North Hills Indians. One play later, Jack Burton went in from 11 yards out. Extra point was good, and that late first half score gave Upper St. Clair a 14-7 lead at the half. It was a lead that North Hills could not overcome. They were able to get a couple of stops of Upper St. Clair early in the third quarter, deep in their own. Upper St. Clair over the North Hills Indians. Some individual numbers. Let's quickly take a look at the total yards for each team. Upper St. Clair outgained North Hills 295 yards to 158 yards. Thomas Visman, before getting hurt, 9 carries, 48 yards in that 6-yard touchdown run. Jack Burton, 7 carries, 82 yards, a touchdown of his own. Blake Kadar, 14 carries, 63 yards. So they got really excellent contribution from several Upper St. Clair running backs. Hansberry in the air, 2 of 10, as he was largely ineffective, although the 2 completions that he made were 35 and 31 yards, so he ended up with 66 yards passing in those 2 completions. Will Hurt, the starting quarterback of the North Hills Indians, 9 completions in 18 attempts, 91 yards. He threw for a touchdown, also threw for an interception. Nick Santucci on the evening, 18 carries, 73 yards. Once again, your final, Upper St. Clair 28, North Hills 7.
That's going to do it for us. We'll be somewhere exciting, I'm sure, next week. And don't forget, 3 broadcasts on the network tomorrow as we wrap up week 1. Also, don't forget Don Rebel and the Cast of Thousands with the Scoreboard Show and the Roundtable coming up right here on the network or on one of the affiliated stations when we're done. Click here. Thanks to Jess Levo for all of her fantastic work here tonight, giving you the video portion of this programming. Thanks to Matt Mellinger and the fantastic folks here at Upper St. Clair for their hospitality. Jim Render and Pat Carey for their help in preparing for this contest. My main man, Steve Nagler, for his spectacular work, as always, sitting to my right. But most of all, thanks to you for listening to WPIAL Football 2016, the Progress First and Turf Game of the Week. For Steve Nagler, I'm Sam Hall. You've been listening to and watching the MSA Sports Network.
You have been listening to WPIAL Football 2016 at MSASports.net. Sponsored in part by Progress, by First Commonwealth Bank, by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by Dollar Bank, by Monticello's Italian Restaurant, and by Management Science Associates. You can follow the 2016 WPIAL football season and all of the high school fall sports by logging on every day to www.msasports.net. The preceding has been a special presentation of the Management Science Associates Sports Network.